live. We are here, live in the flesh. Chat.
Let him cook.
Good morning,
Let him cook
good night,
now.
wherever you guys are. We are here, One Piece.
Let him cook.
11:33.
Let him cook now.
We're here to enjoy the short summary spoilers. We will be reacting, giving a raw, genuine reaction to the 11:33 spoilers. Obviously, we have not read them. I haven't read them. This is going to be a genuine reaction. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's doing amazing. I hope everyone's having a nice morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are, chat. How are we doing today, chat? How are we doing? How have you guys been? How was your past few days, guys? Have we, I think we streamed recently. We've streamed since the, we've streamed since Thanksgiving, right? If we haven't, look, if we haven't, how was your guys' Thanksgiving? I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, chat. How is everybody, man? I haven't read these spoilers. All I know is that during the whole period of time where Read On was leaving hints, I did see a hint about Jesus, okay? W hint. Okay, Read On, you get your W's. You've redeemed yourself, because you guys see how we slander the leakers sometimes. You guys see how we slander the leakers. You guys see how we slander Read On, the double leg spreads, the very short details. How we doing, y'all? IB, OP Fanatic, chat. Go follow OP Fanatic if you guys want the spoilers ASAP. OP Fanatic on Twitter. It's OP Fanatic 2024. He gets the spoilers and tweets them and posts them, whether it's short summary, long summary, or the chapter. He gets it before anybody else. OP Fanatic 2024 is plugged in, and Wokey already starting the stream. We haven't even been live for 5 minutes. We've been live for 2 minutes, a minute and a half. Already coming through with a $300 super chat. Wokey Smokey. Wokey, the king of the community, the king of the stream, just going absolute bonkers, gigantic, uber, mega, colossal, XXXXL, BBC type super chat. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you, Young Smokey, with the 300. Out of this world, bro. I can't even, you guys know, like, how do we even put this into words at this point, man? This dude is just, he's just in a different galaxy, bro. Thank you. He said, I have somewhat of a theory. By the time Elbaf ends, your Rouge will come into the picture. Oh.
Let him cook.
Your Rouge?
Let him cook now.
Who's been waiting for your Rouge, chat? Your Rouge will come into the picture. We know that your Rouge is from Burka, another sky island to people in Skypiea. We also know he has a connection to NL. I feel like your Rouge will come back into the play by the end of Elbaf, and I believe Burka is connected to Elbaf. Hey, man. Hey, man, chat. Let this man Smokey cook. Let him get in the kitchen real quick. Guys, 1 for yes, 2 for no. I want to see every single person here like the stream and comment down below 1 for yes, 2 for no. Will your Rouge come into the story, the main spotlight, by the end of the arc? Because, guys, wait, I missed your super chat to L. I'm so sorry. I'll look through the supers right now. I can't believe, did I actually miss? Okay, hold on. Let me respond to the super chat, and then L. I apologize. I'm gonna go look at the super chats because I have the screen right here. Do you guys feel like your Rouge is gonna come back into the storyline? What's good, Simon? What's good, Karu? How you guys doing? L, of course, bro. What's good, bro? L, let me double check the super chats in a second. L with the 2 also said thank you, bro. He said F the YouTube noties, had to keep checking my feed. Man, I don't know what it is, bro. YouTube's like, hey, you're subscribed to Evil. Oh, and you have the notification bell? Okay, we don't care that you're subscribed, and we definitely don't care that you have the noti bell. We're not gonna send you a notification. It's like, bro, and you're not even the only one that has said that. So like, I have to tell people to hit the notification bell in hopes that it actually sends them the noti. Because if they don't turn on the bell, they're definitely not gonna get it. So what is it, a roll of the dice? But L, or not L, Smokey, back to your comment though. I do see people saying 1. Guys, again, 1, listen, chat. Put a 1 in chat for yes, put a 2 in chat for no. Do you agree with Young Smokey in the sense that your Rouge will come into the storyline by the end of the arc? 1 for yes or 2 for no. I want to say yes, because why did Oda even make him a character? Why even make him a character? Why even put him in the Supernova, the worst generation, right? Look at Beige. Capone Beige has had a much larger role than your Rouge. Look at what Beige did in Whole Cake Island during Big Mom's wedding. Or I guess Pudding's wedding, whatever. He has had a bigger role. And I guess you could argue, oh, well, we did see how Yarouge went to the Sky Islands, and then Yarouge beat up a sweet commander, right? I think it was it Cracker? Whoever it was. But, like, that's not a big enough role to justify Oda even putting him in the story. You know what I mean, chat? So, shout out to the boy, Smokey, with the gigantic, colossal super chat, bro. Thank you beyond words. I do agree that on the Adam tree, in Elbaf, the Tree of Yggdrasil, I do believe that there's going to be a road that connects it to Skypiea. And I think if it's not Enel coming down through that road, it has to be somebody. Watch, bro. Boom. Out of the blue, we're going to see a ship coming down. It's going to be like a dark shadow or something. It's going to be Enel or it's going to be a Rouge, bro. Watch. Watch, bro. And Smokey, you know I'm going to remember this theory. Your theory right here, don't worry, bro. I'm going to remember it. So if this comes true, if we see people coming down that road, if your Rouge arrives on Elbaf by the end of the arc, Smokey gets his W. And of course, L with the 2. Thank you, bro. L, let me see, bro. Let me see. Okay, so your last super chat, last stream was wonder what the Roger Pirates did at Elbaf. I remember responding to that one. Then you had another one, L. You said, did Luffy tell Loki to destroy the world government? Oh, is that the one I missed? I think that was the one I missed. Because then the one before that is if there's any Jezebels here, hit me up. I remember responding to that one. And then the one before that, Ace's hat has a smiley face. Okay, so I think the one you're referring to is when you asked, did Luffy tell Loki to destroy the world government? I think is that one. My bad, bro. Did Luffy tell Loki, wait, no, was it Loki or Toki? You know I'm illiterate, bro. You know I'm dyslexic. Where is it? Did Luffy, okay, it's Loki. Did Luffy tell Loki to destroy the world, did Luffy tell Loki to destroy the world government? Probably not. We didn't see it on screen, right? So if Luffy did tell Loki to do that, it would have been off screen. But I don't even think like Luffy would have said that anyways, you know? Luffy's mostly a pacifist. When he's not a pacifist and he's on when he's on that violent timing, it's usually Luffy initiating the fight and like his followers follow him, right? We don't really see often where Luffy's like, hey, go fight Doflamingo. Hey, go fight Kaido. It's usually Luffy jumping in and then people following him. So in the case of the world government, I think you and I agree that the world government is the top antagonist, if not the final antagonist of the whole story. I don't think that Luffy would have went down that road. And I don't know, man. We have to go back, especially me, because I don't remember. We have to go back and see in the official translations, not the TCB or OP scans. Shout out to them, though. We have to look at the official translations and see how that conversation with Loki went. We have to, chat. But L, thank you, bro. And then we got a 20 by Young Smokey. This will be the last super chat we go over before we jump into the spoilers, guys. Wong Wonky with the 20 bomb. He came through, dropped a $300 super chat, turned around and dropped a 20 bomb. Thank you, bro. If I'm wrong about your Rouge, then he's connected to Blackbeard. Remember when the Warlords reacted at the end of Marineford? Your Rouge understood the threat Blackbeard was? Yeah, I remember. You're talking about your Rouge. Everyone was reacting to Marineford because it was being broadcasted in Shabandi. And then your Rouge said something like, yeah, Blackbeard is the one that you have to keep an eye on or something like that. I know what you're talking about. See, like that's a little... Because it can insinuate that Rouge knows of Blackbeard, but simultaneously, it's like, okay, how much credence do we want to put into that, you know? That's like a tricky one, but if you try to imagine that your Rouge is connected to Blackbeard, then that scene makes a lot of sense, and that scene is very heavy, right? But if your Rouge is not connected to Blackbeard, it's just like, okay, it's a random offhand comment, you know? I don't know. That's a weird one, bro. That's a weird. It's definitely a good theory. I'm just thinking like through my heart, like how would I bet my soul on this? Rouge being connected to Blackbeard. I don't know, man. It have wait. So it's been confirmed that the 10th commander is Aokiji, right? Young Smokey, the thing is that what you tweeted, not even what you tweeted, what you put, why did I say tweeted? What you posted wouldn't even be a long shot. Like, it's actually reasonable. I'm just trying to guesstimate in my mind and my heart. But chat, can you guys confirm, was it confirmed that Aokiji is the final commander? Because if that's true, I don't think there's going to be any other player in the mix unless it's like someone that has an alliance with Blackbeard, but they're not really in a crew. And I think that's mainly going to be reserved for Caribou. So can someone confirm, is Kuzan Aokiji, is Kuzan the final commander? I can't, bro, we've been theorizing about that for so long that I don't even remember if it was confirmed or not. Because I remember we had the one cover page, right? Man, I don't remember, dude. It was good, Amoni. Was good, Vic. Leon was good. Leon said one of us. What do you mean one of us? Not the Warlords, the Supernovas. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I always mix up the Warlords and Supernova. Aren't they nearly the same thing? What's the difference between Supernova and Worst Gen? Is it not like pretty much the same thing? Was good, Zen. He said, hey, I just checked the wiki. Yes, he's listed as one of the Titanic captains. Yeah, so if Kuzan is the final 10th Titanic captain, which we theorized for such a long time about, then it's like, okay, I don't know about your Rouge. Your Rouge would have to have some type of connection to Blackbeard that isn't a commander. So maybe he grew up with Blackbeard. Maybe he met Blackbeard at some point. Or this is probably, I think this is probably a stretch. Him and his crew, Yarouge, have some sort of friendship, some sort of alliance with Blackbeard's crew. But I don't necessarily think Oda would go down that route because that puts too much weight on the shoulders of Yarouge. And Yarouge has been absent most of the story. Moreover, it seems like Caribou's going to be taking that spot. We got the boy Mula. What's good, King? How you doing, bro? How you feeling, Mula? The boy. And shout out to L with the 2. Thank you, bro. You think Lunarians could be alive in a sky island? Man, that's such a great question. Like, I think Oda going deeper into the Lunarians would be one of my favorite things he could do. It's just, I'm so unsure. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't know how Oda's going to play his cards with that. You know? How is Oda going to play his cards with the Lunarians, chat? What do you guys think Oda's plan is for the Lunarians? Because at the same time, L, as much as I would love that to see more Lunarians alive right now, that would actually be sick. Imagine we got like a panel of like a village with these Lunarians and they were like worshiping Nika or something. Like, that'd be insane. But then at the same time, I would look at King and I'd be like, wow, so you actually weren't the last Lunarian. You're actually not the last Lunarian alive. But Oda could justify that because, like, in One Piece, they would have killed so many Lunarians. And we know the world government lies a lot. So they'll just say, like, yeah, kill King ASAP. Capture him. He's the last Lunarian. They're trying to push this over the top agenda, you know? So it wouldn't be necessarily true that he would be the last Lunarian. But I guess you could justify it. Mula says, Yarouge enjoys his favorite hobby with Blackbeard. Wait, favorite hobby. Blackbeard's favorite hobby would be history, right? He's a historian. Is Yarouge a historian? Worst generation is Blackbeard plus Supernova. Okay, so that's the only difference. Karu, what's good, bro? Thank you for pointing that out. I can remember that. That's simple to remember. The worst generation is basically the Supernova, but with Blackbeard. Yarouge favorite hobby. Man, it's like there's just too many details for me to keep track of, bro. I can't remember everything. Have you guys tried rereading One Piece? You're gonna be look, go to the beginning, reread the story, and you're gonna realize like, wait, I don't remember so many of these details. Like every arc you go and you reread, it's like, yeah, I remember how Luffy fought the big bad, and Luffy and Zoro and Sanji and Nami, like they fought those characters. But there's so many things that like you just can't remember everything, you know? What's good, Maya? What's good, Deji? What's good, Kai? The beginning of One Piece was actually way more funny, like Calvin and Hobbes. I don't know what that is. Was good, Gingish. Yarush's hobbies are drinking alcohol, love making. Wait. But no. Mula, you said Yarush enjoys his favorite hobby with Blackbeard. And Yarush's favorite hobbies is drinking alcohol, love making, and traveling. Wait. What are you saying about Blackbeard then? What what are you saying about Blackbeard? Yo, I can't believe the Blackbeard fans are allowing this slander. You Blackbeard fans are allowing this slander. I would never let someone talk about my king Zoro like that. But see, that's just me, and like Zoro's the king. But you Blackbeard fans are gonna allow this from Mula? Mula said, I'm saying Blackbeard is taking devious back shots. Blackbeard, where's Door Handle? Door Handle's usually here every stream. This man is a legend. He's a young legend. The one stream he misses is the exact stream Mula is putting Blackbeard into a ditch. Law and Zoro top 1? That sounds about right. All right, guys. Let's do a little short prayer. Do a quick prayer, and we're going to jump into this chapter reaction. Okay, chat? We're going to do a short prayer and jump into the chapter reaction. Guys, or not the chapter reaction, the spoiler reaction. I guess technically it is a chapter reaction. Jordan, what's good, bro? Sway, what's good? My neighbor's listening to us. What's good, Eric? All right, chat. Let's do a quick prayer, and we're going to jump into this spoiler stream. Okay? Dear Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. My Lord and Savior, my God, my refuge, my shield, my deliverer, Jesus Christ, thank you for another day of life. Thank you for allowing me to breathe and wake up this morning. Thank you for giving me food, shelter, and water, guidance, information, and entertainment. Thank you for everything that you do. I come to you, Lord, to ask you to bless this stream and bless the mind, body, and souls of everyone watching the stream. Lord, I ask that you protect them with your divine courage, bravery, power, love, and guidance. I ask that you fill my chat with the Holy Spirit. I ask that you protect them day in and day out. I ask that you show up for them and be with them and support them and encourage them and guide them through all their pain, struggles, torment, and problems in life. I ask that you show up for them and protect them and love them for me, Christ. I ask that you do this on my behalf. I ask that you take care of them and renew their mind, body, and spirit, just like how you renewed mine. Please bless the stream, bless everyone in their future days, give them long days and a long life, give them a long, happy life, and help them come back home. Because I was once a lost sheep. There's many lost sheep out there, Christ. Leave the 99, go find the one. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Now we can start the spoilers, y'all. With spirit we walk. I walk by faith and not by sight. Cuneo, what's good? Gambit, welcome back, bro. Welcome back. I add One Piece music and themes to some of my martial art video. Wait, Lucas, you got martial art videos? Oh, yo, Lucas, you're gonna have to be my bodyguard, bro. Oh, this man Lucas is a martial artist. Yo, he will whoop anybody in this chat. All right, Lucas, from now on, you're my bodyguard, bro. Wait, oh, you're young, bro. Lucas, you're young. You would still beat up anybody in this chat. That's the crazy part. All right, bro. You're my new bodyguard. I give the spoilers an 8 for feels alone. Oh, come on. Don't tell me that these spoilers are bad. Guys, what am I about to read, man? Chat. Well, by the way, hold on. One last thing. What are the ratings here? 62% of the votes is a 10 out of 10. Chat, is that glazing? L, be real with me, King. Be real with me, King. Are they glazing? Smokey, be real with me. I put my trust in Smokey and L. They would never turn their back on me. Smokey, L, are they glazing? Smokey said, nah, I'm a 10th level black belt THC smoker. I'm unbeatable. I mean, I can't turn that down. Your name's literally Young Smokey. So one hit to your lungs, you out of breath. I think Young Smokey could outsmoke anybody here. He could smoke anyone out. Amuni says, I picked 10 just because. Smokey, or no, that was Amuni. Amuni said, I picked 10 just because. Smokey says, very emotional. This might be a 10. Leon says, no, not really. I could beat Lucas. I got 13 years of martial arts experience. You do? Leon, I don't know about that. You got 13 years of it? Where's L? Oh, L said he hasn't read it yet. All right, L. Guys, time to jump in. One Piece 1133 short summary spoilers. Title of the chapter is Praise Me. Cover story. Holden captures Otama as a hostage once again. Literally who? Hold'em? Oh, this bum? Bruh. So, let me get this straight, Oda. Oda sensei. Oda, you gave us 20 volumes of mid. I'm talking toilet paper level mid, Charmin Ultra mid. To bring in this guy, we waited 20 volumes of the cover story to see this? I want to see you Oda Angels defend this. Go ahead. Get on your knees like a dog. Oh, Oda Sensei. Let me see you Oda Angels defend this, bro. Oh, man. Oh, brother. We're cooked. Chat, this cover story is cooked, man. Oda. Please, bro. All you gotta do is just have Blackbeard show up, man. You literally built up for hundreds of chapters. Caribou hearing about the ancient weapons. Then now you're finally an egghead having Caribou link out with Blackbeard. Just send them to Wano in the cover story. Please. Smokey said, wait. I got explanations. Didn't hold him eat Otama's power? Hey, yo. He ate Otama? Bro, cancel Oda. Cancel him. He ate Otama? What? And he's capturing Otama as a hostage. He's literally on his Diddy type beat. Epstein. Oh no, he's one of them. Oy vey. Oh. Man, dude, I don't know. Chat, I don't know about One Piece anymore. Chat, we might have to retire, bro. I might have to hang up the jersey. Oda showing his true colors. Oh no. Oh, Dongo. Oh man. You know, I feel like Hold'em's gonna be running. He's gonna say, hey, get over here, goy. Get over here, goy. And just snatches Tama. Get over here, goyim. This is insane, bro. What's good, Mike? Hey, Mike. How you been, bro? People been saying Oda is a Freemason. Oh no. Yo, we may have to start checking the hierarchy of Shueisha. We might have to start doing background checks on we might have to start doing background checks on Oda's editors and like Oda's team. I got let me see who's in Oda's team, bro. I want to see if there's certain types of people on his team. Remember, Tama power ends after 30 days. Hold'em probably just wants to be friends, but he's a beast pirate, explaining the sneak around. I don't know, bro. I don't know, Smokey. At this point, I'm about to just start ignoring the cover story, and that's sad, bro. It really is. It's sad. Door handle. You should door handle. Welcome in, young king. You should have been here like 5 or 10 minutes sooner. Mula was just completely disrespecting Blackbeard. He was disrespecting your king. I don't know if Mula's here. He probably fell asleep. This man, it's probably like 3 a.m. for him right now. Mula was disrespecting your king, door handle, and I don't know why you weren't here to defend him, man. Jordan says he held Tama in his jaws. What? In Act 1 of 1. Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah. You're right, Jordan. You're right. So he's doing it again. What does it hold him with, like, the children, dude? He's literally on his Epstein type beat, man. Let me find a Star of Rem fan on this guy. Bro. The chapter features a Robin flashback, but from Spandine's point of view. Bro, we don't care about... Oh, you know what? The lion in the picture, he's tired of this. I just thought of something. This whole lion thing, he's claiming, just like those guys over there, to be the Lion of Judah. The chapter features a Robin flashback from Spandine's viewpoint. Bro, Oda, we do not care about Spandine's viewpoint. We really don't. Spandine that bum. Robin's flashback mixes old and new parts, and it also reveals that Robin once contemplated ending her life, but fortunately she didn't. Young Queen Robin, no. Robin Schwan, don't do it. No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy. Ah ha ha ha. Robin, no. Hold'em looks like a bozo. 1 out of 10 character design. His character design is trash. Look at him. Bro, look at his neck. Mama-chan. Ain't gonna lie, reunion and all that aside, I give this chapter a 5. Oh no. I hope I don't give it a 5. Look, you can give it a 5. I just don't want to read a chapter that's a 5. Guys, is there not a break after this chapter? Yeah, break next week. Oh, man. So it was 2 chapters and then a break then, right? Because we went on a 2-week break. We got 1132 last week, 1133 this week, and then break again. Oh, man. Yo. Yeah, One Piece is going to end in 2 years. Robin was gonna crucify her. No, man, Robin can't crucify herself, bro. Robin, what she really had to do is she had to pick up her cross and deny herself in a different way. The Straw Hats land, or the straw. Why can't I read? It's like I cannot read or speak English when I go live. The Straw Hats travel to the place Saul is using, a mist ship powered by clouds. The ship can fly through the air, so it's a UFO. Wait, so it's a UFO. Saul is using a mist ship powered by clouds to fly through the air. So Saul uses a UFO then. Who wants to bet that they made this ship either because of Egghead and the artificial clouds, or because of the books from Ohara. They read into the Ohara books, because we know that the Ohara books was talking about the Void Century in the Ancient Kingdom, and then they brought it to Elbaf. They read into the books, or they got technology from Vegapunk. Recent UFO found IRL. Yeah, bro. You're gonna tell me Oda isn't red pilled on UFOs? Which, by the way, I do believe that UFOs and aliens are actually just demons changing their appearance to pull people away from God. Ghislaine Maxwell giving Oda the script for this arc. That's why all the breaks. Oh no, man. Yo, I please, Oda, man. Just don't have those people in your team, bro. Like, they will run One Piece into the ground, man. Interdimensional beings, not aliens, exactly. They shapeshift and they appear differently to deceive you. CERN machine. Look, real talk. Those of you not giving a chapter 9, Robin can't be in your top 10 to 15 characters in One Piece. Whoever gave the chapter a 5, respectfully kiss my A. I need to see these panels. This chapter is a 9 or 10 minimum. Yo, if this chapter is giving some love and giving some spotlight to Robin, how do you slander the chapter? I mean, I know Zen, he said reunion aside, it's a 5, so he's putting the reunion to the side. But if you take the reunion in into the context, into the rating, Zen's gonna give it higher than a 5. Everyone should give it higher than a 7. I haven't even finished the spoilers. JJ was good, King. How you been, bro? How you been, JJ? Lilith explains that Vegapunk's technology works in Elbaf thanks to its unique atmospheric conditions. Okay, so I just got confirmed right after that. I just got confirmed. Chat, I promise you I did not read ahead. I promise you, Lord is my witness, I did not read ahead. Okay, so he basically has a UFO, a cloud UFO, because of Vegapunk. See, chat, what were we talking about for a while? What were we talking about for months? That there's a possibility the world government has the ancient weapon Uranus, and it's a flying cloud machine, basically a UFO, a flying cloud machine, and it's powered by Mother Flame, and it shoots Mother Flame as a weapon. Look at what we're seeing this chapter. Saul has a flying machine because of Vegapunk, the artificial clouds, the atmospheric conditions. Yo, is this foreshadowing Uranus? Chat, this might be foreshadowing Uranus. Yo, to the real supporters of this channel, of this stream, you know exactly what I'm referring to. For months and months and months, we were saying that there's a possibility that the world government, they have Uranus, and Uranus is a flying cloud machine, basically a UFO, because of the artificial clouds that Vegapunk was making on Egghead. So that Uranus, with the world government's possession, uses Mother Flame as fuel and as a weapon. The cloud, the machine, will shoot Mother Flame as a weapon and be powered by Mother Flame. So essentially, Uranus in the world government's hands is a flying cloud machine. But what are we seeing this chapter? The Straw Hats travel to the place Saul is using a mist ship. Okay, so a cloud machine powered by clouds. The ship can fly through the air. So this is extremely similar to what I was saying about Uranus. Now, the real question is this mist ship that Saul uses, is this ship a foreshadowing of Uranus? Is Saul's mist ship foreshadowing Uranus? Sorry, Evil, to break the news to you, but the ships move often over nuke missiles and deactivate them like, no, little one, lay down your weapons, which was reported by military personnel. Yeah, I made TikToks about that. But see, like, Here's the thing that I always try to remind people when we talk about UFOs and aliens is that, first of all, we don't know exactly who they are, and we don't know if all of them are the same, right? For an example, right? Let's say I didn't know humanity, I didn't know humans, right? I knew zero humans, I didn't even know that was a thing. Then I met an African. Then I met like someone in China. Then I met someone in Mexico. Like, they could all be human, but then at the same time their belief system, how they see life, is radically different from each other. And I think like a lot of people, they fall into this trap that all aliens are the exact same, that they all think the exact same, that they all have the exact goal, that they all have the exact will. We don't know that because we don't even know what these aliens are to begin with, right? It's hard to say anything about something that you don't know. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they look like. We don't know where they're from. And all we have are like the whistleblowers, you know, Lou Elizondo, David Fravor, Ryan Graves, Schellenberger, you know, all those guys. We have the whistleblowers, and we don't know for sure how truthful they're being. And we have theories. So, you know, my theory is that these are just demons manifesting themselves in a different way to fool people. You know, like in the Bible, it says that like when these people back in the day would worship the pagans, worshiping these other gods, it's not that they were worshiping other gods, it was that demons were pretending to be those gods. Aliens living in the water, y'all seen that? Yeah, it says in the book of Revelation that beasts are going to come out of the ocean. Might not be a foreshadow. It's just a tech that can be a thing thanks to the environment, kind of like pyroblowing from volcanoes. Yeah, but like, why mention that? Like, think about this long term. We're gonna have this whole story in One Piece. Boom, we finally get to Elbaf. Saul uses a flying machine. We see him use a flying machine and he lands on the ground. End of story. We never refer to a flying machine again. It's just like, okay, well, the first major flying machine besides like Big News Morgan's, the first one, I guess we would say the second one, it doesn't amount to anything. Like, I feel like this is something that's going to be foreshadowed because most people are traveling by ship. They're traveling the seas. Big News Morgan's is like the only outlier. And I think his flying ship is going to have to relate to something else flying around. And, think about Onigashima, right? Kaido is using Onigashima. He was going to crash Onigashima into the flower capital. I think it's similar to how Emu is using, instead of Emu using Onigashima, Emu's using Uranus, a flying machine, to go around and eradicate islands, Lelucia being one of them. Hope you do another conspiracy theory or conspiracy truther stream. Last one was fire. Appreciate it, Lucas. I'll try to work on one. Evil, you are truly a mastermind when it comes to One Piece theories. Your ability to connect the tiniest details, uncover hidden meanings, and predict the wildest twists is nothing short of genius. Hey, Fox, thank you, bro. All I have to say is glory to the God, the real God, the one true God, the triune God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. May he be glorified in through me to bring Christ glory. All glory to God. All right, guys. Next point. The Straw Hats finally arrive at Saul's location. Saul is the history professor in Elbaf. Okay, so is Saul? He's like the new. Saul is the new Clover. Saul is the new Professor Clover. In a playful callback to their first meeting, Saul pretends to be unconscious to surprise Robin, but she instantly notices what he is doing. Oh, yo, this chapter is gonna be so wholesome. Yo, I know that we're saying like, okay, besides the reunion, what else does this chapter have? I get that. I understand. But like, in a way, it's almost like, no, what do you mean besides that? You know, like, every chapter, most chapters tend to have like one large thing, then there's like little minor things on the side. That's like the general script. Once in a while, the chapter will be divided evenly with like 4 or 5 topics, but most of the time it's one major topic with like 2 or 3 side things. This is going to be wholesome, bro. This is going to be so wholesome. What's good, Vincent? You are a little late. But it's okay. It's okay, Vincent. Better late than never. You could always rewind as well and watch in 2 times speed. We have L with the 5. Thank you so much, Young King. The legend of the stream. Conspiracy of aliens, monsters, demons in the ocean is scary. One of my only fears in life is the ocean since I almost drowned as a kid. That's bad, bro. Hey, L, I can't even blame you, bro. The thought of that, like, bro, could you imagine being in the middle of the ocean? I'm talking like you don't see land anywhere for like hundreds of miles in sight. You're in the middle of the ocean. You go underwater and it's just like pitch black darkness. Dude, that is terrifying. I would rather have a spider crawl on my body than be in the middle of the ocean with no land in sight, and when you're underwater, it's just pitch black. Like you don't even know what's beyond like in front of you. Dude, that's terrifying. That's terrifying. That's horrifying. I almost drowned as a kid one time because when I was a kid, see, bro, chat, my dad is based, okay? My dad is based. He's not like one of those lib dads. He's not one of those liberal guys, right? When my dad was teaching me how to swim, we were at the pool, right? And he kept grabbing me and he would throw me. He threw me into the pool and I would like struggle to swim to the side to grab on, right? And that's how he taught me to swim. And then at one point when he threw me, I almost drowned. I was like on some Luffy type beat. I almost drowned and like someone picked me up out of the water. It was like a baptism in a way. They picked me up, and then I think from that moment on, I had it locked down because then I started swimming from one end to another. Bro, based. That's how I learned. But L, anyways, terrifying. I can't imagine just being in a pitch black ocean, bro. You don't know if there's a shark there. You don't know if there's some piranhas. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't want to be in the middle of a pitch black ocean. Like, imagine falling off. Bro, you know what would be so terrible? Falling off of a cruise ship. By the way, this has just become, this isn't even a One Piece stream anymore. This is just a horror stream. Could you guys imagine being like a drunk idiot and you fall off a cruise ship and it just continues going? That is probably the worst predicament someone could ever be in. My dad is Garp. My dad threw me into the water. That's how I learned how to swim. Exactly, bro. Exactly. See, that's how you raise a man, young Smokey. I learned how to swim the same way as Evil. Hey, based. This is why you're such a Sigma, Smokey. You had Garp, Yujiro, or Heihachi for a dad. I have no clue who Heihachi is. I meant, didn't the government admit aliens were in the ocean recently? It depends what you mean by world government. It depends what you mean by government confirm. Or admit. Because some people could be like working for the government and they could say that they believe this and they heard things. Some people could be ex-government and say that it's true. But a lot of people won't believe these things unless Joe Biden walks out on the stage and he's like, hey, everybody, UFOs and aliens are real. That's the only way people will believe things. Even though, like, there's so many other guys that, like, ex-government that have said these things, like Lou Elizondo. What's the other guy? Christopher Mellon. Many people have died falling off or jumping off a cruise ship in the past 4 years. A teenage boy died off a dare. That's just terrible. That has to be the worst thing. You're in the middle of a dark ocean and the ship's just going, bro. By the time they even realize that you jumped off, oh my, I would never want to. See, chat, this is why I can't get into alcohol, bro. I just can't do it. And chat, I don't mean to go off topic, but like alcohol is just really a poison, bro. You can't think straight. You can't even walk. You talk like an idiot. Your inhibitions are lowered. You make horrible mistakes. You wake up and vomit. You start vomiting. You got a migraine. Dude, it's not enjoyable, man. It's just not. But anyways, guys, let's get back on topic. See, you guys are forcing me to rant. You guys are forcing me to yap. Door handle said, I am the liquor. Look at me. I'm mowing the air, bud. I have no clue what you're referring to. Ella said, I haven't went on a cruise because of the ocean. Also in Mexico, within the past 3 years, a great white shark bit a diver's head off. Yeah, bro, I'm good with the ocean, bro. I'm good, man. I'll stay on land, bro. I'm a land creature. I'm a land animal. You guys could keep the ocean. Hey, sharks. I'm out of your territory from now on, man. We'll make a pool on land, and we'll that's how we'll get our little ocean. Do you believe ghosts are real? I believe spirits are real. I believe in the spirit realm. The Bible talks a lot about the spirit realm. And you know, in reality, like the spirit realm exists. There's spirits everywhere. But Jesus loves us so much that he has blinded us from seeing the spirits. Because could you imagine like going to the bathroom and you're on the toilet, like trying to have your own privacy, and there's just demons in the bathroom? Bro, you'd go crazy. Imagine going into the kitchen, you're trying to make food, and there's like angels and demons and spirits everywhere. You would just go crazy, and you'd be like, bro, get out. Let me make my food. Get out of here. You would go psycho. So he had to like put a veil on our eyes for us to not see that. I do believe in spirits. I believe in Jesus's, what do they call it? The transfiguration on the mountain. L with the 5. Thank you, bro. Almost 1.5 years with no alcohol. Any tips, bro? Because I've gotten cravings. Any tips? My tip would be to, okay, so here's my thing, right? This is going to get a little religious for you, but maybe you can apply it in your own way. Look, so my thing, and I heard this from a pastor recently. He's very on point. I forgot what his name is. But let me just respond to this, and then we're going to get back on topic with the spoilers. Look, I believe people don't hate sin enough, okay? You have to hate something that you want to stop doing, right? For an example, if you're one of those men that are addicted to corn, corn, right? Corn, right? You have to hate it, right? You can't be indifferent to it. You can't have love for it. You don't, the reason that you keep falling and you keep relapsing is because you secretly love it. You secretly have this desire. You don't hate it enough. So like for me, when like Christ re-entered my life and he entered my heart and I've been filled with the Holy Spirit, I have had a complete 180 with how I see things, and I hate it now. So I was obsessed with rap music all my life. All I would listen to is rap. I would listen to Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, all the rappers, 21 Savage, every rapper. That's what I grew up on. That's all I listened to. And then when I was renewed and Christ lift the veil from my eyes, I realized that that type of life is degeneracy, filth, and sin. And that made me hate it. So now it's easy to not listen to that type of music. Why? Because I hate it. So what you can do in your predicament is hate alcohol. It's easy in my opinion. I hate alcohol because I'm going to be puking when I drink too much. I'm going to wake up with a migraine. I'm not going to make good decisions. I'm not going to be able to drive correctly. I'm going to say stupid things. If I drink too much, I can't even walk straight. You know, it's a hindrance to you, right? It's hindering your performance in life, just performance and doing it in anything. And another way you could hate it, look how many children, look at how many babies die a year because of drunk drivers. You'll have sober parents, a sober family, completely sober in a car, boom, the kids are dead. Now they're 6 feet under because of a drunk driver. Learn how to hate it. Hate that sin, hate alcohol, and that'll help you from relapsing. And then you replace it with something else. I can have fun by going on a jog, working out, watching a movie, playing a video game. I don't need to do that because that's evil and that's going to make things worse for me. Find something else that's healthy, a better alternative to fill that gap. That's what I would say, L. I quit smoking weed and tobacco 3 months ago. Just have to leave people you hang out with. Same addiction. Yeah, exactly. Because when you're around those people, you're gonna be brought back into it. Like those guys, like they're chains to you, bro. They're chains to you and they hold you there. So it's like you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want to be one of those people that drink responsibly? Because look at the Bible, right? Jesus turned water to wine. Alcohol and wine is not bad. What's bad is the overconsumption of it. Like certain things aren't bad until it's abused and you have too much of it, right? So I see young Smokey, he says, damn, screw Smokey then, I just cracked a beer, sorry, just drink responsible, to each their own. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Jesus turned water to wine. Like, so drinking wine isn't not necessarily bad per se. It's the overconsumption of it that makes it bad. That's the abuse of it is what makes it bad. Now, if you're trying to leave alcohol, then I say hate it altogether. Because if you even have a little bit of leniency, you're just going to be there forever, you know? So you have to ask yourself, what is my goal? If your goal is to just get rid of alcohol, then hate it completely. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to have a little bit of leniency on it, and then it's going to keep you chained. You'll never get away from it, you know? Exactly, Vincent. Moderation is key. So I was talking about complete hatred because of L. I think he said with no alcohol, any tips? That's what I would say, L. Because I feel like if you give it a little bit of leniency, depending on how you were before, like if you were an overconsumer, if you give a little bit of leniency, it's gonna grab you, bro, and it's not gonna let go. So pick and choose your battles. Do you want to have a little bit of leniency and deal with overconsuming sometimes, or do I want to just say forget it? I don't want it at all. See, L said he can't control his alcohol intake. So what I would say is just hate it altogether and find an alternative. Also, be careful of your surroundings. Don't be with people who are drunk, and don't watch like too much content online or whatever of drunk people. Like, you don't want to like constantly think about that and dwell on it. Young Smokey said, I always have a beer and blunt watching. See, if you have it in moderation, Smokey, you're fine. I'm just speaking to the overconsumption of it. All right, guys. Anyways, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic, okay? A flashback reveals that the huge flames from Ohara's destruction melted Aokiji's ice, encasing Saul, allowing him to survive. However, his body is burned. So is he the bro? So he's the man. So he's the man with the burn scar. It was Saul this whole time. So it was Saul the whole time, bro. Yo, chat. People were right, bro. I think they were right, because people were saying, we all know that Saul was covered in ice. Remember back in the Ohara flashback in Eni's lobby, they covered Saul in ice, and the fire melted the ice, therefore leaving his body burned. Burn scar man. Wow. Wow. Not the man with the burn scar. Oh, chat, is Jordan coping, guys? Is Jordan coping? He's saying he's not the man with the burn scar, just the umpteenth burned character in One Piece. All right, guys, listen, man. Listen. Do you guys believe that Saul is the man with the burn scar? Yes or no? Because, you know, the interesting thing is that if Saul is a man with the burn scar, then that means Saul knows the truth about Ohara, making him a huge threat. Saul was at Ohara, so he knows that there was a genocide on Ohara. He knows that it was eradicated. Moreover, he heard all the things that Clover was saying about the world government. He heard that Professor Clover, Saul heard that Professor Clover said that there's ancient weapons, that there is this ancient kingdom, and that the current world government eradicated the ancient kingdom. That means Saul has some crazy deep information because of his time on Ohara. But adding to that, he's literally studying the books of Ohara. Chat, is he the man with the burn scar? I need some answers. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Spam your answers, man. Smokey said, Evil, you have a good case, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oda pulls a subversion. What about a black ship and whirlpools? See, my thing is, like, there's no character. There's not a single character in One Piece that you can look at all the details and signs about for the burn scar man and be like, this character fits all of them. It's impossible. So what I think the case is going to be is that the burn scar man, there's going to be those attributes about him that wasn't shown already. So for an example, the man with the burn scar, Oda's gonna reveal why he has whirlpools. I guarantee you it's not gonna be a situation, and I might be wrong, but I guarantee you it's not gonna be a situation where we're gonna look back and be like, oh yeah, they did use a whirlpool in the past. It's probably not gonna be like that. We're gonna see how in the future they use a whirlpool. 1, 2. Smokey said, I'm not convinced yet. No, 2, 2, 1. So you guys know my argument. I made the video about the burn scar men. You guys remember my video, right? The Revolutionary Army, how I made the burn scar men. So that's my, I have two theories, okay? I have a straightforward precision accuracy theory. Then I have a little tinfoil theory. Okay, the tinfoil theory is for the fun. You guys know how we all have tinfoil theories. We all have theories for the jokes. But I mainly do the precision theories. So I don't have too many tinfoil theories. My tinfoil theory is that it's actually burn scar men. And the reason why all of these details about the burn scar men don't fit one person and they almost conflict with each other is because it's not actually a man, it's men, and it's the Revolutionary Army. Sabo's the man with the scar on his face. He's the man with the burn scar. Dragon is the reason that there's whirlpools. I forgot all the details in it, but that's the tinfoil theory. You guys know that I've been saying my main theory for the burn scar man is Loki, but I just realized that he's probably not the man with the burn scar. That just now occurred to me. Smokey, or not Smokey, Smokey Loki. Loki Smokey. Chat, Loki doesn't have a burn scar unless the bandages are covering his face, right? Loki doesn't have... Where's Loki? He didn't appear this chapter, did he? 1132? Look, chat, can Loki be the one with the scar? Is it possible that the bandages are blocking it out? Hey, you can say that I'm coping, but we don't even see his forehead. We don't even see his eyes, bro. Look, Sabo has a scar on his eye. This dude is literally wearing a bandage on his eye. Dang, chat, I might be wrong, man. I might be wrong on Loki. Maybe I'm coping. I might be coping. Is there a chance that he has a scar on it? Look, we can't even see his chest. We can't even see his chest. We can't see his chest. We can't see his eyes. We can't see his forehead. How do we not know there's not a burn scar on his forehead? Chat, you could tell me if I'm coping. Smokey said, I'm so excited for the chapter. What if the burn scar guy is the silhouette guy? It could be, but the problem is we don't even know who the silhouette guy is, you know? Simon, what's good, bro? He said burn scar man is going to be a holy knight. He could be burned around the eyes like Sabo. Exactly. Burned around the eyes like Sabo. Sabo's burn scar is literally on his eye. Go back to Sure You Papa. Who, you calling me Papa or you calling Sure You Papa? Hey, yo. I forgot what chapter. It's the bar scene with Kuzan. Dude, I don't remember what chapter that was. Does anyone remember the bar scene with Shiryu and Kuzan? Wait, Shiryu was there? Shiryu was on Whole Cake? I don't even remember. What chapter was that? 1087? Hold on. You guys are not going to see my login information. Chat, what chapter was that? Come on, I know one of you encyclopedia fans got it. No, it wasn't 1086. 1086 was Dragon and Ivankov. Guys, what chapter was Kuzan in the bar? 1081? Sure you made a theory that the burn scar man works for the world government? Where's Shiryu? Yeah, okay, here it is. My guess is that it's a world government man. The world government's got dark secrets of its own. And if they hold one of the stones, it means no pirate will ever reach the One Piece. I don't know, man. Chat, who do we think the burn scar man is? Is it Saul? If it's Saul, then I'm wrong, because my initial prediction was that it was Loki. So I have to either admit that I'm wrong with Loki. I'll have to say, okay, fine, I was wrong with Loki. I take the L, but I'm gonna switch it to somebody else. I'm gonna go for another try. Guys, I might give in, because I feel like the Loki argument is just, I feel like it's just cope. I don't think it's Loki, man. I might have to admit the L, guys. Chad, do I take the L and admit the L with Loki? Or do I cope? Do I hold on a little bit longer? What do I do? It could be Dragon. I feel like if it's Dragon, it's actually burn scar men. So Saba would be the one with the burn scar. Dragon is the reason that there's whirlpools. The Revolutionary Army. Who was it that was correlated to the world government in the Revs? Dang, someone go pull up my video, chat. Go pull up Evil Burn Scar Men. I talk about all the details and how it relates to the Revs. Embrace the L. So you're telling me I should take the L and admit that I was wrong with Loki. Sazo said if it's Loki, it could explain the special bounty. What do you mean by that? Are you saying that Loki has a special bounty and the reason for that is because he's a burn scar man? Is that what you're saying? I was calling the second best swordsman Papa, not you. Good. That's still sus. You're calling Shiryu Papa. But what if the man marked by flames isn't natural scar? What if it's the color of flames, as in red hair? Huh. I don't know. What would that change though? Are you saying like for an example, there would be a scar on his face and then that scar is colored? Is that what you're saying? Because then I feel like that conclusion is still the same because they have a scar. Or am I misunderstanding you, Vincent? I might be misunderstanding you. Smokey said burn scar Saul or Loki, guy on coast, Shiki, or Scopper. There's too many strong world animals as friends of Loki. I don't know, man. This chapter is kind of saying that it's Saul, bro. Why can't Saul... Because O'Hara, listen, chat, let me tell you something. Saul was last seen on O'Hara. We're not going to technically count Saul traveling to Elbaf. We're not going to count that. Saul was last seen on O'Hara. That was 20 years ago. Are we going to say that Saul hasn't found a way to create whirlpools in the past 20 years? Think about that. The last time we saw Saul was 20 years ago on O'Hara. How do we not know that he doesn't have some kind of technology or some kind of ability to create whirlpools? He's had 20 years to grow as a character. Didn't Saul become a Marine? That means he worked for the world government. Exactly. And dude, that's such a Simon. Can we get a W Simon chat? Can we get a W Simon chat? Chat, can we get a W Simon? Can I see W Simon? Can I see 07 Simon? Let's get some salutes. Let's get some salutes, some W's, some Wymans in chat. Wyman in chat. Why? Because look at what Shiryu is saying in the official translations. My guess is that it's a government man. The world government's got dark secrets of its own. A government man, because the Marines are subject to the world government. Simon says the man with the burn scar is Saul. Simon, are you locking it in? Is it Saul? Are you leading the path to victory? Is it Saul? Because, I mean, come on, this chapter is literally saying that Saul has the burn scar, and it makes perfect sense. The only thing that you could say, again, chat, because, look, guys, I'm going to give you a tool for your arguments. Because someone's going to tell you, well, Saul doesn't make whirlpools. How do you know that it's Saul? How can you say that Saul is the man with the burn scar? Where are the whirlpools? One, just because we haven't seen Saul create whirlpools does not mean he can't create whirlpools. That's one. Two, The last time we saw Saul as an active character was 20 years ago in Ohara. So how do we not know he hasn't learned or done things in the past 20 years? Why would Saul want to keep other pirates from finding the One Piece? Probably because he's waiting for Joy Boy. He's waiting for Nika. He's waiting for Luffy. Saul is now a resident of Elbaf. These guys worship Sun God Nika. They love Joy Boy. Maybe some of them are waiting for the Sun God. Maybe they're waiting for the perfect time. They're waiting for a prophecy. He would definitely want to keep it to Elbaf. Even like, let's say like, oh, well, why didn't he give it to Loki then? Okay, well then that still shows that he wouldn't want other people to get it. The special bounty because he has... Is that something to do with the world government? Possibly. Possibly. Oh yeah, I wanted to pull up L super chat, guys. L with the 5. Thank you so much, young King L. Just back supers. Thank you, King. L said, what if it's Dragon and he's marked by flames because the Celestials burned Luffy's mom alive? That would be wild, bro. That would be wild. So my question is, where would Dragon's scar be? Would it be on like his torso? Would it be on his chest? Because it's not really on his face. Unless, hear me out, L. Dragon has a burn scar on his face and he covered it with a tattoo. Or it looks like a, who was it earlier that said that the scar is colored and that's why it's called flame, because it's colored and it looks like a flame? Who was it that just said that? I'm so sorry. You know who you are in chat. Who was it that said that? I think it was Vincent. The red symbol on Dragon's face is a burn scar because it's red and it's like all over his face. So figuratively, not a literal burn scar like, oh, I put my hand on the stove, now there's a scar there. Not a literal burn scar, a figurative burn scar. That would be a mix between what I think, was it Vincent, chat? Was Vincent the one? Yeah, Vincent said that would be me. Shout out to Vincent. So that would be like a mix between a Vincent and L's theories. They said burn scar. I thought it was man marked by flames. Guys, what chapter was it? See, we have to get our information straight, guys. We have to get our information straight. This is exactly why I keep telling people to read. We need to read the official translations. And guys, I'm victim of this too. Sometimes I forget to read the official chapter. I'm not better than you. I'm not better than anybody here. I am not better than you. We need to read the official translations because look, I love OP scans. Look, I love TCB. They give us a chapter early. I love that. But we have to be careful because the official translations is how we should be looking at the story and thinking about the story. And you guys hear me rant about this all the time. We'll read a chapter from TCB or OP scans, and then when you look at the same exact chapter in the official translations, you realize that the official translations has more meat and potatoes than the fan translations. We need to be reading the officials. What's the chap? Okay, 1081. That's when they were. Okay, so it's 1056 and 1081. Jin Marks was good. Hello. Okay, so you guys were asking the official wording. Kid says, what you mean finding the man with a burn scar? Burn scar. So is it a literal scar or is it a figurative scar? And knowing Oda, it's probably going to be a figurative scar, bro. It's going to be figurative. Watch, man. Like, I don't want to say, oh, it's definitely figurative. But like, I just feel like Oda is the kind of guy to make it figurative. He knows that we're all going to be thinking of a literal physical scar. Yeah, and then Blackbeard reiterates it. In the official translations, burn scar. So chat, if you guys know about a chapter that is not 1056 or 1081, if you know about a chapter that talks about the burn scar man, tell me the chapter so we can look at the official translations. Because now in 1056, they say burn scar, not man marked by flames, burn scar. And then in 1081, burn scar. Okay, so if you guys know another chapter that is not 1056 or 1081 where they mention this guy, tell me the chapter so we can look at the officials. Because so far, they don't say man marked by flames. They say burn scar. Look, again right here, again in 1081. Again right here, look. Speaking of scars, Commodore. Speaking of scars, Commodore. Do you think he knows about burn scar? Burn scar? There's in 1081, the official translations, there's 3 mentions of burn scar. In 1056, that started this whole thing, they mentioned burn scar. Kai says it's obviously Saul. He's going to Elbath to meet the man with the burn scar. Dude, you know what would make Oda so goated? Let me tell you, if Oda did this one simple trick, it would be so insane. Could you imagine if Oda has Saul renamed to Paul? Bro, I would be mind blown. Just hear me out. If you guys are Christian, you know where I'm going with this. Imagine Saul was renamed to Paul. Hear me out. We know that in the Bible, in real life, we have thousands of copies, thousands of manuscripts of the epistles of the New Testament. In real life, we know that this happened. There was a man named Saul in real life. He was a Jew who was persecuting Christians. He hated Christians. He was hunting them down and sentencing them to their death. Saul had an encounter with Jesus, and then he was blinded, and he arrived at a place called Damascus, and he got his sight back, and he became Christian, and he became super zealous for Christ and Jesus, and he took the new name Paul. Wouldn't that be similar to Saul? Saul was a world government man, persecuting the pirates, therefore persecuting Luffy. Now that he is learning about Ohara, learning about the world history, learning about the world government, he leaves the world government and now he supports Luffy. So if Saul was renamed to Paul, that is a perfect parallel between St. Paul to Saul in One Piece. Especially, again, Paul was originally named Saul, and he changed his name to Paul because of Jesus. So if Saul in One Piece changes his name to Paul, that is a perfect parallel. Just like how Saul was persecuting Christians, Saul was a world government man persecuting pirates. Then Saul became Paul and started supporting Christ, and that would make Saul become Paul and start supporting Luffy. Dude, that's one simple thing. All he has to do, your new name is Paul. Bro, that would be, yo, come on, man. Simon to Peter, S to Paul. Yo, Simon to Peter. Shout out to Simon. Shout out to Peter. On this rock, I will build the church. On this Cephas, I will build the or your name is Cephas. And on this Petra, I will build the rock. Cephas is a stone. Cephas means Peter. Man, Oda, give this man Saul a new name, bro. That would be so fire. And we got Smokey with the 20 ball. Thank you so much, bro. Smokey with the 20 says, just so y'all know, Oda doesn't like it when we could figure hit out of him. He always looks to subverted expectations. So be careful. Normally when Oda finds out we figure out the plot, he tricks us. That's true, guys. We have to be careful. Not everything in One Piece is super straightforward. Not everything is exactly what it seems. Oda likes to throw curveballs, man. I'm trying to think of an example right now where Oda threw a curveball. Maybe someone in chat can give an example. The One Piece fan, because you guys have to remember, Oda admitted that he watches some One Piece videos. That's one. 2, Oda gets thousands and thousands and thousands of letters from One Piece fans. Do you not think some of the letters from the One Piece fans are theories? There's probably so many theories that One Piece fans write. They send it to Oda, they send it to Shueisha, they send it to Oda's team. Then they open the letter and then they read the theory, right? Oda doesn't respond to every single SBS that's ever been sent to him. He just can't respond to them all. He responds to the best ones. So Oda is more than likely very aware of the more common theories, right? So Oda's going to throw curveballs, man. He knows how we think. Oda's been writing this story for 25 years, man. He's been writing this story. So guys, listen to Smokey. Oda's going to throw curveballs. Who knows, man? Maybe it's Saul, maybe it's not. L with the tooth. Thank you, bro. Robin is the Jesus he met. She's a Mugiwara. Yeah, she embodies Christ. She has the Holy Spirit within her. Don't listen to these new agers that says that Robin has Christ consciousness. Don't listen to that. Chat, don't listen to that garbage. John 14:6. But yeah, true. She embodies Sun God Nika. She embodies the sun. She has the sun within her. She has Christ within her. Greater is he who lives in me than he who lives in the world, man. I'll put $100 on it. Evil, it's not Saul. Guys, what are your final guesses, man? What are the final theories? Is the man with the burn scar Saul? And we got Mike Super. What's good, bro? Evil to feed off the Paul thing. Now I feel like they're going to do Saul like they did Paul. Yeah, bro. You know what they did to that man's Paul in real life? You know what they did to St. Paul? Apostle Paul? You know what they did to him? They beheaded him. They beheaded him. And I don't want to get too deep on a tangent. All I want to say is you mean to tell me all of these people were making it up. They were all making it up. They didn't actually see Jesus. They didn't actually see Jesus resurrect. Paul didn't actually have an encounter with Jesus. None of these guys were becoming famous. None of these guys became rich and wealthy and kings. They were getting hunted down. They were putting their life on the line. You mean to tell me they were all doing that for no reason at all? Just to suffer more. And that when it really came down to it, and when the Jews were persecuting these guys, none of them recanted. They were all making it up. Is that what you're saying? They were all making it up. It was just all a big story. It was all a big hoax. Because we know that these apostles were actual people. There's no debate there. Like, you just have to be a liar to say that. Like, even atheists will tell you, bro, like, there were apostles. There were people that were killed and persecuted and crucified. They crucified Peter upside down because Peter wasn't worthy to be crucified upwards like Jesus. So what you're really saying is that all of these people, they were all making it up. Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. It could easily be made up, but I believe most people believe Jesus at least lived. Yeah, but the idea that they all made it up is ridiculous. Because nobody here would die and be hunted down and persecuted for something that they know is a lie. No one's going to do that. And none of the apostles and none of the believers, none of them recanted. None of them. So it's like, show me someone, not even just someone, show me people that are willing to die and be tortured for something that they know is a lie. No one does that. And moreover, you mean to tell me all of these people hallucinated the same thing? That's not possible. Not really. People make stuff up all the time and they have been persecuted for those beliefs. Bro, no one's getting tortured and hunted down for something that they know is a lie. Like, look at how the look how the US government, they use these evil tactics of torturing people, and then those people will admit something, right? None of the people in the times of Jesus and even post Jesus, the apostolic days, none of them recanted. So Saul knows the ancient history. Yeah, because remember, Saul was there on Ohara. Now, I don't necessarily remember exactly if he was close enough to Clover to hear Clover's rant, But maybe he was. But even if Saul wasn't close enough to hear Professor Clover's rant, Saul is still in Elbaf reading the O'Hara books. So even if Saul didn't hear what Professor Clover was saying, Saul still would have read through the books. We see here in the spoilers that Saul is the history professor of Elbaf, but the history professor, they got the books from O'Hara and put them in Elbaf. We already saw that in previous chapters. So Saul more than likely knows about the world government. He knows a little bit about the Void Century. He knows a little bit about ancient weapons and the ancient kingdom. When it comes to what you believe in the bottom line, don't comprise like our Captain Mugiwara no Luffy. See, Smokey, to take it a step further, is that Paul, Peter, can't say John, he died of old age. You can't say that all the apostles were dying for something that they believe. You can't say that. They weren't dying for something that they believe. They were dying for something that they saw, right? Peter, James, and John, they saw Jesus' transfiguration. They saw how the Father, the Lord, said that this is my son, listen to him. This is my son in whom I am well pleased. They're not dying for, well, oh, I believe that. I believe that. They weren't dying for what they believed. They died for what they saw. And all the other people that weren't even apostles that were killed, they were dying for what they saw. And they were dying for the inner transformation. So therefore, they would be dying for something that they know would be a lie. And I don't believe that. And you guys, if you think like it's a mass hallucination, we know that Jesus appeared in a crowd of 500 people. And there's historical documents that talk about this. This is the Gospels. So ask yourself, did 500 people hallucinate the same thing? The chance of that happening is 0.00000. It's 25 zeros and then a 5. It's not even 1%. For everyone to hallucinate the same thing. That's just not possible. That's never been recorded, and psychology will prove that. You're moving from reasonable territory to biased territory because you can't even admit it's possible. That's just your own opinion. It's possible in the sense of 0.0000000. Like, how are people hallucinating the exact same thing at the exact same time? That doesn't make any sense. You might as well just say that's not possible. Because if you have like let's say you have like 20 people on an ayahuasca trip, right? And they all start tripping out. They're not all going to see the same thing. They don't all see the same thing. Was it the Jews who did it? First Thessalonians, I think it's First Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 14 through 15. I think that was the verse. Maybe it wasn't that verse. They do name it. Shout out to L. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I can't remember what I read in the Gospels, but even Jesus said, like, you are ordering these people to kill. You're just as guilty. Have you ever heard the Mother God cult? Yeah, that's a cult, though. That's a cult built on lies. See, if we go deeper and deeper and deeper into this, we're just going to stray away from the spoilers. So what do? Make this a religion Christian stream right now and just abandon the spoilers? But, yeah, El, like, if you sentence someone to be killed, you're just as guilty. But some people say the same about Christianity, but I do understand it's a faith thing for you. It's just, to me, it's a logical thing. Like, I think it's illogical if there's not a God, right? Like, this right here, this watch, this was made. Someone made this. My DNA, how it's in a language and it's a code, someone made that. The laws of physics, someone made that. The universe, someone made that. You just said you just said by faith and not by sight. Okay, you're just taking these things out of context. Kai, listen, just believe whatever you want, man. We're not going to go back and forth. I'm not forcing you to believe or agree. Fake or not, it's still such a good basis in life to live by. But God persecuted Jesus to die on the cross. Do what you feels right. I'm good either way. If Saul was man with scar, Oda would do a word play with chapter name. But at the same time, we literally saw like 2 or 3, 4 chapters ago, the spoilers told us the name of the chapter. And then when we read the chapter title, the chapter name was something completely different, you know? So and when after that happened, I remember when we reacted to the chapter, I pointed that out. I was like, wait a minute, this chapter title is completely different from what it said in the spoilers. So even though the chapter title right now says praise me, I'm just gonna take that with a grain of salt. Why does God, who determined my fate before I was born, since he knows everything, hold me accountable after I die? You have free will. Someone can know what you're going to do and still give you free will. Listen, is this going to become like a God Christian debate stream? Because look, if I sit here and I start debating, people are going to get upset that we're not talking about One Piece in the spoilers, right? But then if I don't respond to these, people are going to say that I'm running away. So I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So what do you guys want, chat? You guys want to have a Christian God debate stream? Or do you guys want to talk about the spoilers? I know that I go off topic sometimes, and a lot of people don't like it. I try to limit it, but what do you guys prefer? Do you read Numbers 17 through 18? Are you talking about the Bible? It's up to you here, bro. I'm here for whatever. Y'all are masturbators. Yo, door handle, what? You could respond to them, but limit how much you respond to. God stream. We always gonna do a long. We're gonna do a long spoiler stream anyways. Yes. Did we get to the last spoiler? No, we didn't even get to the last spoiler. We still have like 3 more points. All right, let's get back to the next point. A flashback reveals that the huge flame. Okay, no, we read that. However, his body was burned. At the chapter's emotional climax, Robin tearfully says to Saul, "Can you praise me for surviving this long?" This leads to a heartfelt reunion between the two. Yo, this is gonna be so wholesome. You know how beautiful and wholesome this is gonna be, man? You know how beautiful and wholesome this is gonna be? Most of the Straw Hats are shown crying their eyes out, with Jinbei and Zoro's expressions are left unseen. And Luffy watches Robin and Saul with a big smile. So listen, man, Oda is gonna leave out Zoro's expression because Zoro isn't really a heartfelt guy. Zoro doesn't really care about reunions. He's not really like a lovey-dovey, heart on my sleeve kind of guy. Jinbei is. Jinbei, I could, chat, could you see Jinbei crying at this? That's why I think Saul is about to break out some crazy lore. He is, bro. 100% Kai. Again, as we've been saying, we know for a fact that they took Ohara books to Elbaf, and now he's the historian. So he definitely read those books. And again, he might have heard what Professor Clover was telling to Spandine and the world government. Zoro's just smirking. Jinbei's a softie, man. Jinbei's a softie, bro. Jinbei has a soft heart. He's one of those like bigger, like, the bigger guys that are like super, what's the word? Not, I guess, soft. Smokey said, "I'll debate whatever." Yeah, this man Smokey standing up, bro. This is Luffy reuniting with Sabo Part 2. That chapter and episode was pure wholesome. Yo, Sabo is just him, bro. I think Sabo is the most underrated character. Sabo is the most underrated character in One Piece. Robin got the Lilith fruit confirmed. The Lilith fruit. Did I say that specifically in my Robin video? I don't remember if that's what I said too. But Earth God Robin underrated. Wait, no. Greg, you and I literally worked on that. Robin, remember the Robin video? Greg, you and I literally worked on that. Robin being Lilith. Wait a second. Yo, Greg, come on, man. We're gonna take that W with Robin, bro. Because with that video, I remember we locked it in, bro. We cornered people. Greg, you cornered people with that video, with our video. We cornered them with the logic of Lilith. Robin is a super Lilith parallel. Why did Robin go into a huge, gigantic form? I think she had horns, maybe, but she definitely had the wings. Why did Robin go into that form? Explain that to me. Why did she go into that form? She was literally a demon, bro. And they call her the demon child? Yo, Lilith, bro. Do you celebrate Christmas or Halloween? I do not celebrate Halloween. I will be celebrating Christmas, though. Don't celebrate Halloween. I do not celebrate that. Worshipping the dead, the darkness, the spirits. You cannot drink from the cup of the demons and from the cup of the Lord. You pick one or the other. So the whole thing about Halloween with the skeletons everywhere, the blood everywhere, the death, the murder, the darkness, it was based on a pagan ritual. You know, it's just too much darkness. I want to stand in the light, bro. May Christ shine the light of heaven on me and into the darkness of my heart. I don't want to stand in the darkness, but I'll celebrate Christmas. And if someone tries to tell me that, oh, but Christmas actually has pagan rituals. It actually has a pagan ritual. Okay, at least Halloween, the origin from these pagan rituals was darkness. And now when you look at Halloween, it's still embodying darkness, still to this day. Even if you want to scrap the pagan origins. But if you try to argue that from for Christmas, first of all, prove it. Second of all, we're not celebrating these pagan things. We're literally giving thanks to Christ. We're worshiping Christ and being thankful for his birth. And even if December 25th wasn't his birthday, who cares? Look at the essence of it. Like we should be thankful for Christ being sent down to give to earth as a gift, you know? So like people are going to have to work their way around that. They're going to say, oh, it's pagan. Bro, we're literally being thankful for Christ. Look at the essence of the holiday. And see, the only reason why people are always trying to debate all of these like Christian beliefs, Christian ideals, the Christian worldview, is because they hate Jesus Christ. Because our whole belief system, our whole worldview, how we operate and how we see things is built off Jesus. So if you hate everything we do, if you hate everything we say, if you hate everything we believe in, you really just hate Jesus. Us Mexicans take the food to our dead ones. Wait, L, did I really forget that you were Mexican? Some people that celebrate Christmas are atheists and not religious and don't care. Act Jesus, they just want presents. Yeah, like that's, to me, like that's a butchering of what it should be. But in the context of Christians, we're being thankful for Christ because Jesus was the greatest gift to the history of the world. The figure of Jesus was great, but you're just trying to put a narrative against people that are disagreeing with you. People will put it, you're literally putting a narrative against Christians. You're literally putting a narrative against me. And how is it not true? If Christians have like these certain beliefs and these certain things that they do, like their doctrine, their worldview, but it's all given from Jesus, then how can you say, I hate you and everything you believe in and everything you do, when it originated from Jesus in the first place? I don't see Dia de los Muertos that evil. I don't know, man. I wanna stay away. I want to stay away from the whole dead thing in that kind of sense. No one has ever said they hated Jesus. Just not believing he existed is totally different. You'll see people like street preachers, like the good ones who aren't even screaming, just like very calm. You'll see them on the streets and people will say that, oh, Jesus was gay, I hate Jesus. You'll literally see that. So yes, people do say that they hate Jesus. And again, like, you can't run away from it. If someone is building their life and their worldview and their faith off of Jesus, and you hate everything about them and their worldview and their life and their faith, how do you not hate Jesus then? Because they're carrying over Jesus's worldview. They're carrying over what Jesus taught. So you can't say, oh, I love Jesus and what he taught and what he believed in and what he was telling the world, but then hate the Christian. If I said that right. When it originated from Jesus in the first place, you actually just hate him. Like, people want to make Jesus like this hippie guy, when in reality, he wasn't this hippie guy. Like, he was very loving. He was one of the most loving people, if not the most loving person to ever exist, right? But he still stood firm. Like, Jesus talked about hell more than anybody else. Look at the parable of the landowner. He's basically saying, if you don't realize I'm Lord, you're not going into the kingdom of heaven. You'll be casted out into darkness. So if a Christian says that, he's evil and he's a terrible person. But if Jesus says that, it's okay. How? Like we're telling you, we're just the messenger. We're just telling you what he says. That's hypocrisy. Personally, I'm leaning towards by being a Gnostic Christian, Gnosticism from 1 AD, early Christianity, with the idea the Old Testament God was evil, fake God, and Jesus came to free us deception. Lucas, I listen, if you go down that belief and you call yourself a Gnostic Christian, therefore you are a Christian, right? And I would be a Christian. So therefore, we would be brothers in Christ, right? What I would strongly advise you, or what I would strongly advise and suggest, is that you do not go down the route of Gnostic Christianity, because Jesus literally said that the Old Testament was true. He said that the scriptures were true. And obviously during Jesus's time, there was no New Testament yet. Jesus attested to the authenticity of the Old Testament. And we have a lot of those old copies and manuscripts of the Old Testament still to this day, the original ones. Okay, so if you're going to be a brother in Christ, please don't go into Gnosticism. And those guys were bringing in fakes. They were bringing in fake gospels and forgeries, and they were immediately kicked out the church because the church knew that these guys were spreading blasphemy and lies. So I would suggest do not go down that route. The Old Testament God is largely misunderstood by people. And maybe the reason you perceive him one way or perceive him another way is because you have to grow in your understanding. And Jesus, remember, one of Jesus's greatest moments, one of the most important things he ever said was, before Abraham was born, I am. Okay? Before Abraham was born, I am. I am is basically saying Yahweh, the name of the God, the name of the Lord, right? Yahweh is what the Lord told Moses about himself. He basically said, because Moses, remember, was on the mountain, and Moses was like, okay, Lord, how do I tell my people who you are? How do they know that you are the same God that they believe in? And the Lord said, tell them I am who I am. I am meaning Yahweh. It's Hebrew. Yahweh, I am. So again, look at what Jesus said. Before Abraham was born, I am. He's saying that he is the same one, right? So to me, it's like, it just kind of doesn't make sense when like you want to pick and choose things about Jesus. And it's even worse when there's thousands of copies of the manuscripts. You know, there's thousands. There's over 58,000 manuscripts for the New Testament Bible. There is more proof of authenticity, of no corruption in the New Testament than any other piece of antiquity. Plato has nowhere near the amount of manuscripts as the New Testament Bible, but yet people will never question things about Plato. You can literally go on Twitter and make a Plato quote and people will instantly believe it. Even though the copies, the oldest manuscripts from Plato, the unbroken chain is in the 2 digits. But again, the New Testament is 58,000. So you just, someone has to break that down to me. Why is Plato okay? Dawn of Ascension says 250. Why is believing Plato okay when there's 250? And I think it's actually less than that, but let's just say 250. Why is Plato okay when it's 250? It's definitely not corrupted. But then the New Testament has 58,000, but no, that's corrupted. That just does, to me, that makes no sense. I think it's possible at some point over thousands of years, the Bible has been compromised. You have to prove it. You can't just say, okay, I think it's possible, so therefore it's possible. You got to prove it. We have the oldest manuscripts dating back to the lifetime of Jesus, to the lifetime of John, right? We have those oldest manuscripts, and we could literally trace the Catholic Church to Jesus. You can literally trace it and follow it down, right, through history. So, like, people, especially Muslims, they want to say that the Bible's corrupted, but they can't prove it. Atheists will tell you that the New Testament is true, that it's not, that it hasn't been corrupted. They don't even believe in God. They don't even believe that Jesus was God, but they will tell you, no, Jesus was a person. He died on a cross. I don't think he was God. And I don't think the Bible is corrupted. Don't let this baiter edge you over and over. LMAO, for real, for real. I love your rants. Closest thing to a friend. Yo, it's all good here. I'm just defending my case. See, you know what makes a good friendship chat? You know what makes real friends? When you could debate. When you can debate with your friends and throw out all your arguments and stuff. And at the end of the day, we still love each other, chat. I've said so many times, you do not have to be a Christian to be in this community, to be in this stream. You don't. You don't. But like, you have to understand like that's who I am. That's what I believe. So of course, like, if you're not a Christian, maybe there's going to be certain things I say that you don't agree with, but you don't have to agree with. And plus, why should I expect every single viewer to agree with everything I say? That is just so like egotistical. If I was like, no, I'm the streamer here, chat. You guys have to believe every single thing I say. You guys have to agree with everything I say. That's ridiculous. Debates are always great when they stem from love and respect. Shout out to L with the 5. Thank you, bro. You guys have your own beliefs, please. I'm just telling you what I perceive to be the truth. And you guys aren't forced to agree with me. What kind of stream is that? Like, yeah, you guys are all bots. I say something and then you guys regurgitate it for no reason at all, just because I said it. Dude, that literally takes away your free will. You guys literally have no free will then. But anyways, L with the 5, thank you, bro. He said, no wonder bro stopped cooking theories. He got every counter ready for the anti-religious arguments. Bro knows his Bible. Thank you, L. I greatly appreciate it, King. Love you tremendously, bro. I'm still working on my arguments. I'm still learning more every single day. And yeah, I feel like a lot of the things that people say in this chat is exactly what I used to say. I used to say these exact things. Wait, the Bible has been corrupted. You're telling me there's no way. Dude, the Bible was 2,000 years ago. You're telling me that it hasn't been corrupted for 2,000 years? That makes no sense. How are we supposed to believe that? I used to say these same things until I realized, wait, no, these historians who go to universities, who study this, they have proven there's thousands and thousands. What did Dawn of Ascension say? There's 67,000 manuscripts. There's 67,000 manuscripts of Jesus. You and the New Testament. It's better for you to just say, listen, fine, the Bible's not been corrupted, but I just don't believe certain things in it. You're better off saying that than saying the Bible has been corrupted. That's a much weaker argument. You can never prove how. Greg says, I'm atheist, largely anti-religious, but strongly believe in moral enlightenment. I think we have to get our morals. As a human being, you have to get your morals from somewhere, right? And I believe God wrote our morals. He wrote it on our heart. It's written on our heart. And that's why we know certain things are objectively wrong. So for an example, right? Most people would agree. I'm not going to give too graphic or crazy examples because then people are going to leave this stream and I'm probably going to get this stream banned. I really want to give an extreme example so you could get my point. But I'll give an example, a lighter one, so we don't get the stream knocked offline. For an example, right? We all agree that murder is wrong, right? Just general murder, like you just walk down the street and just, boom, take someone out for no reason, right? We all believe murder is wrong, right? But why is that wrong? How do we all know that's wrong, though? Why? It can't be that murder is objectively wrong because of evolution. Because then if it was from evolution, it wouldn't be objective. Because that would mean that in the past, people didn't think murder was wrong, right? Because we hadn't evolved to that point. But now we realize that murder is wrong. So therefore, how is it objective? Because we once lived in a society where everyone thought, according to that, everyone thought that murder was okay or tolerable. I think the reason that all of these countries and all of these civilizations have similar morals is because it's written onto our heart. And if we all have the same belief system and we believe that certain things are good and certain things are objectively wrong, it has to come from someone higher than ourselves. It has to. How do we all on a day-to-day basis, we know that murder is wrong. Giving to people is right. It's good. How? It has to come from something higher than ourselves. And I think that something is God. It's proof of God. Because then if you say no, objective morality doesn't exist. I can believe certain things are good and then you could believe they're bad. Well, then how do you know when to draw the line then? Because like if there's this adult, this evil adult that does something really bad to a kid, How can you say that's wrong? Shouldn't they be allowed to do that? But you know it's objectively wrong. So it would just be a matter of opinion if you want to believe in relativism, moral relativism. And that's not good. You can't live like that, because we all know that there's certain things in this world that are objectively wrong. So if it's objectively wrong, where did it come from? It had to have come from someone higher than ourselves. It would be God. Oldest Bible is 400 years AC. It's not even in the original language, was in Hebrew. What's the point though? The manuscripts predate that. They put manuscripts together. All right, guys, you guys want to go back to the spoilers? 1984-ish. I personally think the idea of man being dominant over woman is objectively wrong. I refuse to believe a pinnacle of morals in Jesus would believe that. History is written by the victor type of thing. I think that people are taking this idea of a man being dominant over a woman from the Bible way too far. I think they're taking it way too far, because it tells you in the Bible simultaneously, if you continue reading, that as a husband, you should love your wife as you love yourself. For no man does not love himself, right? You have to love your wife as you love yourself. So that's already painting a picture how you're going to treat her. It also says to love your wife like how Christ loved the church. That's a pretty high level of love, right? Jesus loved the church, right? Yeah, well, us husbands are supposed to love our wife just like how Jesus loved the church. I think like people are stretching this thing of man being dominant over woman way too far. And I think if we look at our physiology, if we just look at society, we know that men they're first of all, physically, our muscles are stronger, our muscles are bigger. We tend to go to war. We tend to be kings. We tend to lead crusades. We tend to be leaders. Right? Because that's in our DNA, that's in our biology, that's in our nature. Whereas women are much more empathetic and they strive in empathy. That's why mothers make for some of the best parents. You'll see some of the best parents ever be a woman. You'll see some of the best teachers, some of the best therapists be women, because that's within their nature. And the idea of a man being dominant over a woman is because in our nature of being humans, we need leadership. We need someone to guide us. Right? We should center our life around Christ, but sometimes we need leadership before that, or I guess beyond that, depending on how you want to look at it. So it's not this idea that, like, for an example, a certain other religion that rhymes with Bislam, they think that, like, oh, strike your wife, have 6 wives. We don't believe that. We believe one wife, never strike your wife, praise her, glorify her, keep her clean without blemishes like a pure lamb. We raise the women up. And the reason why Christianity spread as fast as it did when it first originated, because of the resurrection, was that it was giving slaves and it was giving women a lot more freedom. They were able to find freedom through the Bible and Jesus. So yeah, I think people they really stretch this idea of man dominating wife, or men dominating women. I think there's much other groups of people that take it 1,000 times further, and like they just want to point at the Bible because they hate everything about the Bible. They hate Jesus then. Islam doesn't allow you to hit your wife. That's called spreading misinformation. It does. It talks about striking. It talks about striking to put her in a place, to put her in her place. As long as you don't leave a bruise, you can strike. That's not misinformation. That just means that I know your book more than you do. I think men should definitely lead the house and lead their wives, but not by force. The woman must willingly follow and trust her husband to follow or to lead the household well. Yeah, that's exactly what the Bible says. They need leadership, because like it's just in the nature of women. It's just in their DNA. They're just not able to be like this strong, powerful, bold, courageous leader. That's just not in their nature. So for a good, harmonious family to work, they would need a man to lead them. That does not mean chain the woman in a basement to a chair. That's not what it's saying, you know? And you know, God made man and woman to leave their father and their mother, to go out, for man and woman to come together and become one flesh. It's one of the most important things. You know, when we try to go through this world alone, it's bad, bro. Chat, we can't go through this world alone, bro. Hope I'm not generalizing too much, but women want men to lead unless the man is unbalanced and thus is unfit to lead. The woman would prefer to lead. Yeah, that's, see, like, I believe all people, first of all, chat, I'm not better than you. I'm not better than anyone here. I'm not a good person. There's only one person that's good, and it's the Lord. And I think we all have our own problems. We all have our own sins in our own individual way. We all have our own flaws. We just express them differently. So like the flaws in men, like a lot of men being addicted to corn and that kind of stuff, men being weak, not being leaders. You could see similar things for women, but it's expressed differently because there's no such thing as a perfect person. This turning into an incel chat right now. How's it incel chat? I just praised women. If it wasn't for women, I wouldn't even be alive right now. I was born because of a woman. My mom gave birth to me. My mom nurtured me. My mom raised me. She took care of me. Women have some of the best empathy you could ever find in somebody. Women have a lot of patience. Women bring grace into the world. How is that being an incel? I feel like people are so like, because of the culture of feminism and the culture of red pill podcasts, people can be very extreme. 1 second you're an incel and the next second you're a white knight. It's just, I don't know. I've been called, it's funny because like I've been called white knights by people. Then I've been called an incel by people. You know? Sounds like your body, my choice. Your body, my choice. You're referring to Nick Fuentes? Your body, my choice. I believe murder is evil. I think that's very wrong. L with the 2. Thank you, Young King. We need women to keep us grounded and empathetic. Exactly, bro. We need women in life. You need someone that's going to be there with you to create one flesh, to create a home, to give you love, to be your best helper. You know how in the Bible, a lot of times when it refers to a wife and it refers to woman as helper, when it refers to, oh, women are the helper of man. Women are the helper of their husband. If I'm not mistaken, when it uses helper, I think it's Hebrew. It might be Greek. I think it's Hebrew. And you guys could look this up in case I'm wrong. The word for helper is Elizer. And that word is mainly used throughout the Bible as well for God. For the Lord. Just like how wife is the helper of man. Wait a second. The Lord, God is the helper of man. So is that really degrading women? Women are great, but we men are awesome too. Exactly, bro. Bro. Lucas, thank you, bro. Why is it so hard to understand? Women are perfect and beautiful in their own way, and men are beautiful and perfect in their own way. Women are flawed in their own way. Men are flawed in their own way. Like, people, it's just, everything has to be like a swinging arrow. Like, it has to be a swinging meter. You're either complete white knight or you're a complete incel. It's just, this is the culture that Satan has produced along with his top soldiers. You guys know who Satan's top soldiers in, that have sown division into society, where we have to have feminism that tells women that they should be in the workforce and abandon men. You don't need a man, can kill all men, right? Producing this evil, sowing this division in the world, produced by the Jews. And then we have the Red Pill podcast doing the same thing for men, because why? One follows Satan, the other one follows Satan. They're both sowing division between men and women. That's what it really is. So these Red Pill podcasts like Fresh and Fit and Myron, who want to call out the Jews, they are doing the same thing that the Jews are doing. Myron Gaines, the guy who created Fresh and Fit, will say, I can't stand the Jews because they created feminism, and that's sowing division between men and women. But wait a second, Myron, you do the same thing, but with men. So you're no better than the Jews. I would never call you a white knight when you are pushing your body, my choice. I don't think it's a matter of your body, my choice. I think that's completely misconstrued. I'll give you an example, right? Because someone will tell you, you're a man. Why are you speaking on women to when it comes to their body, right? First of all, I don't think it's just their body. I believe there's a life in there. A fetus always creates a human, right? It always has a baby. Like women on average will be like, "Oh, I can't wait till my baby arrives." They don't say, "Oh, I can't wait till my fetus arrives." But let me make my point, right? If you wanted to say that I can't talk about abortion because I'm a man, okay, white people shouldn't have talked about slavery because they weren't black. Do you see how ridiculous that is? Of course, white people should have spoken on slavery. It doesn't matter if they were black or not. That's completely ridiculous. They knew that whether they were black, white, Mexican, Chinese, that the slavery that black people went through in America was wrong. So I don't have to be a woman to know that murder is wrong. And it's not just my body. That's not it. You're carrying a human. And you know what it really comes down to? People like to live in their flesh. They love to live in their sin. They are nose deep in their sin. That's what it is. Because people will get mad. Why does the Bible tell me to not have sex before marriage? Maybe it's so that you guys don't constantly get these STDs. You guys don't get gonorrhea. You guys don't get herpes. You guys don't get monkeypox. You guys don't get pregnant, forced into an abortion, pregnant with the wrong man, single parent. Maybe that's why. So you know what? This will never cross their mind because they want to live in sin. They want to have sex before marriage and then deal with the bad outcome of that. If you would have waited and had sex with the right person, the person that you're going to marry and spend your life with, lifelong commitment, you wouldn't have been in a predicament to get an abortion. But you just want to live in your sin. You don't care. You want to just have sex with whoever you want. And now you got to live with this problem. And men need to be held accountable to the same standard as women, bro. Men need to be held accountable to the same standard because women aren't just randomly getting pregnant. It's because of the men. It's the men. It's equal, men and women. Women don't just randomly get pregnant. The only one to ever do that was Mary, right? So with that being said, it's equal responsibility. Otherwise, now you got to go through this problem. Oh, do I get an abortion? Do I get an abortion? What about STDs? Oh, I gave my body away. Like so many negative consequences to this. And now we have to look back. Okay, maybe that's why they were saying in the Bible to not have sex before marriage. Evil just pissed off 4 out of 5 women. Now I love women because I know that if a woman was going to have an abortion, she would feel ashamed and she would feel hurt and she'll regret it deep down inside. And there's going to be this pit in her stomach because she knows that she just eradicated life out of this world. And I love women so much that I would not want them to make a bad decision like that. Hey, Kai, people can cancel me. I don't care, bro. Cancel me, crucify me. I'm going to die for the Lord. It would be an honor to die for preaching the words of the Lord, dying for him. People are already dying from abortion bans. That's unfortunate, and I wish that wasn't the case. But I think people need to be honest with themselves and stop having sex with just random people. It's like you choose to sleep with random people just because you feel like it and you want to have fun. Okay, go out at 3 a.m. into a dark alley and just swing around some cash. You're putting yourself in danger. That's what it really comes down to. But people, like, we're us humans. I don't want to say people because, like, I'm guilty of it. I think most people are guilty of it. We all live in our sin. It's all from the flesh, right? So I'm no better than other people. But anyways, we're putting ourselves in a dangerous predicament when we sleep with all these random people. Because now we got to worry about pregnancy. We got to worry about STDs. We got to worry about single parent households, which has completely destroyed the black community. It's actually so sad. People denounce Christianity to avoid personal responsibility. Yeah, it's mostly it's not a head thing, it's a heart thing. Glad you're speaking for my community now, bro. I hope you're not trying to twist this out of context, trying to make it seem like he's slandering black people. Why would I slander black people? Black people were made in the image of God. I'm saying that single parent households has crushed and has caused a lot of damage to black people. It's the black community. That's not slandering them. That's talking about an issue that black people have to face. For an example, Mexicans, alcohol and obesity has been harming the Mexican community. It has nothing to do with like, oh, now he's talking on my people. Bro, I care about your people. Why would I not? If I didn't care for black people, I would be disobeying the Lord. Plus, I'm here to love God and love others. So please don't twist this and try to make it seem like he's talking on black people. He's trying to slander us. That's not the point. Like, completely misunderstanding. It has nothing to do with black. It's all people. No, I think certain people have certain issues. Like, for an example, I'm Mexican, right? I think a lot of the Mexican community is struggling with alcohol and obesity. I think there was a study that said 75% of Mexicans are obese. Like, that's sad, bro. I want to see Mexican people live healthy lives, right? We see the white birth rate declining. That's sad. We see like a lot of single parent households with black people. That's sad. Everyone has their own problems. Just because you point them out doesn't automatically mean, oh, you're judging them, you hate them. No, it doesn't. I don't want that to be the case. I know some of the best parents that are black. There was someone I used to be really close with. I'm not going to speak on them and speak on their name, but I would say out of like all my friends, all the people I know that have kids, he is by far the greatest father. And he's black. It's just like this idea of rap music, pop the mollies, pop the perks. It's not only exclusive to black people. It's made its way to Mexican culture. It's made its way to white culture. It's producing this idea of sleep with all these random people. Oh, I got thoughts. And then people end up pregnant, you know? This isn't out of hatred. I'm just saying it exactly what it is. If you want to point the finger at people like Myron Gaines. Because, like, we'll talk about the same issue, but then Myron starts using slurs. He starts calling people monkey. Like, that's the people you need to be upset with. Why would I want black people to suffer? Yeah, what he says can be disgusting. I don't want black people to suffer. And, you know, one of the other beauties of the Bible is that it was because of the Bible that slavery was abolished. They abused the Bible to create slavery, right? But it was mainly Jews that did slavery, right? But they looked back at the Bible, especially like if you look at the letter to Philemon in New Testament, where Paul was telling Philemon to take back his slave and make him more than a slave, make him a brother in Christ. They were using the Bible to abolish slavery, and they were successful. They abolished slavery because of the New Testament. And I don't even want to get into slavery in the Bible because that's a whole other subject. Slavery in the Bible was indentured servants. It wasn't the same thing as like black people in America. We think it's like super evil, super terrible. I'm not saying it was a great thing, but I'm saying like we perceive it as a super crazy thing because when we think slavery, we think of like black people in America, which was beyond awful, beyond evil. But I don't want to get too deep into that because like then I got to explain what the laws were and all that kind of stuff. But what's your favorite race? I have no favorite race, man. I can't. I do know you're a good guy. You were just saying some wild stuff. Hey, whatever, man. You good, 3? Nah, slavery was pre-Islamic culture. And then rap music gets glorified. Exactly. So the reason why I like talking on rap music so much is because that's what I listened to 99% of my time growing up. Like I've listened, yo, what's good, Blake? What's good, bro? Listen to like every rapper, bro. Listen to Kendrick. Didn't listen too much to Drake, but listen to Biggie, obviously, Tupac, all the underground rappers. Talked about they would just constantly talk about like getting on drugs, spinning the block, not worshiping God. You know, it was just a lot of filth and degeneracy that I was listening to pretty much my whole life. I didn't stop listening to rap music until April of this year, you know? So 27 years of listening to rap music, I just couldn't do it anymore. So God of the Old Testament is not the same God of the New Testament. No, it is. Jesus said it. He was the God of the Old Testament. Before Abraham was born, I am. The phrase I am in Hebrew is Yahweh, and that's what they called the Lord of the Old Testament. But I think the reason why people have this they perceive the Old Testament God as super evil is because they're not looking at the gradual revelation of who the Lord is from the Old Testament to New Testament. They're not looking at the full picture, you know? Have you listened to Bryson Gray? He's a legit Christian rapper, no cussing, and preaches Jesus through his music. Yeah, I have. I have a lot of Bryson Gray songs because I have a rap playlist that's Christian rap, and it's so funny because like when you find the right Christian rappers, you don't even get like this corny preconceived notion, you know? Like when you think of like Christian rap, you're probably like, oh, it's probably so corny, bro. Like you listen to these guys, bro, it's not corny at all. It sounds like normal in a way, you know? They're not cursing and stuff like that. But anyways, I have some Bryson Gray in that playlist. I got KB. I have No Big Deal. I got, of course, MTM Isaiah. I think he's the greatest artist out right now. Isaiah Robin. I got a bunch of Christian rappers in the playlist. But my thing with Bryson Gray, as far as I understand, he's not a Trinitarian. He doesn't believe that Jesus is God. So like for me, like I can't support that. If you claim to be Christian and you don't believe that Jesus is God, to me, I don't understand how that works, because that's kind of like thinking that like you're a One Piece fan, but like you don't think Luffy is a pirate or the main character, the protagonist. It's just, I don't know about that, King. And Chad, are we gonna go into a whole Trinity debate? Check out D Cure. I've never heard of him. I'll have to check him out. Have you seen the video of Biggie and Diddy being sus? Yeah, Diddy, man. Chat, you guys want to talk about that man, Diddy? Oh, man. Yo, Diddy, bro. Ah. This man, Diddy, there was always signs of him, bro. Chat, come on, man. Looking back, you guys know all the signs were there, bro. Shout out to Evil for standing on business. Dude believes what he believes. Hey, Kai, I know you were disagreeing with a lot of what I said, but it doesn't matter, bro. I still love you, Kai. I love you, bro. And I'm not saying this because I got the camera on. Oh, he's live. Of course he's going to say this. He's live. He wants to make himself look good. Screw that. Kai, I love you, bro. Empathy is necessary fruit of the spirit. Yeah, 100%. Kai, that is definitely something that I'm trying to work on, bro. Because sometimes, bro, like my righteous anger, it gets ahead of me sometimes. I definitely am trying to work on my empathy. See, my girl, bro, I tell her, she completely outclasses me. Because, like, a lot of times I'll have, like, righteous anger and, like, righteous frustration. And I just got to tone it down, bro. That's, like, one of my biggest flaws. See, chat, I'm not flawless, bro. I'm filled with flaws, bro. But, we're working. We're growing. Religious stream on break week, please. Yo, chat, you guys want a religion stream? Religion stream on break week. Do you like King Von? Il, thank you for the super chat. Guys, comment down below. Should we do a religion stream where we just go all out? Because, you know, like I try to limit myself like during these streams talking about religion, because one, the stream is for One Piece. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like if someone says something in chat related to Christianity or religion, I feel like, well, one, I naturally want to respond, but two, if I don't respond, people are going to be like, oh, look at him. He's running away. He doesn't want to answer. He's dodging. But it's like, I still have to talk about One Piece, you know? So I try my best to juggle the side topics in One Piece. It's hard. Eli, was good, King? How you doing, bro? I no longer belong to the church, but I believe in God and the fruits of the Spirit. Hey, Kai, I hope you find your way back in, man. What matters most, Kai, and I'm preaching to the choir, I'm pretty sure you know this. What matters most, do I have a relationship with Christ? That's number one. You know, some people, they'll go to church, but they don't actually have this relationship with Jesus. They just go and they're in church because they have to, and they're doing the traditions. You know? Like, church isn't the end all be all. Like, you need that relationship with Jesus. Evil is the new king of going off on tangents. Step aside, teching. Man, the tangents. I don't know how you guys deal with the tangents. The only way I can understand you guys dealing with the tangents is that you guys are here for me. Like, yes, you guys are here for the One Piece. You guys love the One Piece, like obviously, but like you would only be able to handle the tangents because you're here for the creator, you know. And I don't want to bring glory to me. I don't want to bring ego or pride or anything to me. I want to redirect it back to God. So if you guys love me, you guys love my content, you guys think I'm such great person, no, bro, let me deflect that back to Jesus, okay? Read on posted a Jesus on the cross hint for this chapter. Can we figure out what it could be? Bro, that's what I was wondering too. This man read on, as you said, he posted a hint about Jesus on the cross. And I was thinking like, also, look, chat, time out, bro. When I was looking this up, GOAW, he's a One Piece account. Whoa. Chat, don't take this out of context when you look at the search bar. The reason why I was looking this up is because the other day I saw someone like retweeted something and then they deleted the tweet. Apparently Geo tweeted something like, oh, something like, so Geo tweeted, maybe if Oda wrote the Bible, I would actually give the Bible a chance. And then someone quoted the tweet and said to Geo, wow, you're really sucking Oda's blank. Okay, that's why I searched it. And Geo deleted the tweet. Okay, so chat, don't think that I'm searching some weird stuff, okay? I promise you. Geo, this guy right here, this complete, God forgive me, douchebag, tweeted that maybe I'd give the Bible a chance if Oda actually read it. And then someone quoted it saying, wow, you're really sucking Oda's blank. And I was trying to find the tweets and I couldn't find it. But I know that after he tweeted it, he said, y'all are crazy, man. Because he slandered the Bible, trying to put Oda on the level of the Bible. And people didn't like it. So then he tweeted, y'all are crazy, man. Dude, this guy tweets like 24/7. Get off Twitter, bro. Dr. Umar, man, where is it, bro? I'm going to show you guys. Look, deleted all the drama tweets. Everyone, I'll keep it One Piece. Bro, try not slandering. Try not slandering. But anyways, we got off topic. As I said, read on. He tweeted a hint about Jesus on the cross. You see this, chat? How is this going to relate to the chapter? Church as I thought defined as 3 or more people gathering together to discuss and celebrate God, right? Ain't no way you just searched that, Brody. El Mepo. Yo, El Mepo is back. El Mepo. Bro, El Mepo. How long has it been? Wait, 12 months. El Mepo. El Mepo. El Mepo. El Mepo. Ain't no way you just searched that, Brody. Yo, El Mepo. Welcome back, bro. Member for 12 months. You have a membership for a whole year, my king. A whole year. A whole year. And look, I'm sorry. The only reason I searched that up is, again, Geo tweeted, maybe I would give the Bible a chance if Oda wrote it. Lamau. And someone quoted the tweet and they were saying to Geo, wow, you're really sucking Oda's. And that's why I was looking those words up, okay? Because I was trying to find the tweet. I was about to go off, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was about to go off on Geo, bro. I was about to go off, man. So do you say Yeshua or Yahushua? Man, honestly, Eric, I think like there's certain things that like, yes, you do have to talk about and discuss. You know, like if a Christian says Jesus isn't God, bro, yes, we got to talk about that. You need to come back home. Jesus is God. But then there's little things like pronunciation of Yeshua or Jehovah. I don't know, man. I think it's just like one of those things like, hey, just let it be, you know? Do we believe Jesus is God? Do we believe that he resurrected on the 3rd day? Do we believe that he died for our sins? That he's in heaven with the Father? Yes? Okay, then we're good, bro. You know? So I don't want to get too... I think it's important that we don't separate each other. We should all be one under God, one under Jesus, you know? So we just gotta let these little things... We can't be too divided. We have to just let these little things go. So something like that for me, it's just like, whatever, man. If you say Yeshua, Yeshua, whatever, Yahashua, Yehovah, Yehovah, Jehovah, listen, I know what you're talking about, okay? Do you know what is firmament? Yeah, I think a lot of the flat earthers, they take like the Bible verse about the firmament, they kind of take it like a lot further. The Bible is not necessarily saying that earth is flat, dude. I think flat earth is just like, I don't know. Chat, yes or no? Do you believe in flat earth? I think flat earth is just, I don't know, man. It's just, it's way out there, bro. A good excuse? It's not necessarily an excuse. It's like a legit reason. It's like a legit thing, right? Because when Jesus said, I am the bread of life, is Jesus saying he's literally bread? Like he's toast? Like he's literally a piece of bread? People like to butcher and take things out of context. And I notice a lot of the time when people want to like attack the Bible or use the Bible against you or something, they'll take one verse, but they won't read around the verse to understand the context. And I think the whole firmament thing is definitely an example of that. They're not saying in the Bible that the earth is a square or flat. That's not what they're saying. I think flat earth is just, hey man, to each their own, bro. I strongly disagree. I think that's ridiculous. I mean, when you look into the sky, you could get an amateur telescope. Eli, you know this. You could go to Walmart, bro. Go to a Walmart and just get a random telescope. Point it at the sky. You can see that every planet is a circle. So you're telling me every planet is a sphere except Earth? I don't know, dude. I don't know about that one. After watching your stream, I know about many things and know about other side of world things from Open Talk stream. Hey, Vizwa, God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. Love you, bro. I'm glad to teach you some stuff, man. And if you don't believe what I say, if you think I'm lying about something, don't just take my word, bro. Just go look it up, bro. And maybe I'll say something incorrectly. You know, I'm not flawless. So, you know, always try to do your own research and make sure that I'm telling you something that's true. Got ourselves a round earther? Kai, you're a flat earther? You're a flat earther? Bro, Armageddon is coming soon. I'm getting ready. I will move to New Zealand. It's happening soon. Trust me. Yo, moving to New Zealand is not going to save you, bro. I know tribulations coming. I know that the sun is coming. There's no running away. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. There's no running away. Kai said, no shot, bro. I'm playing Earth this round and I'm thankful you at least see it's all spheres. I mean, that's just one of the examples, right? Seeing that it's all spheres in the sky. Why would Earth not be a sphere? You could look at the curvature of the Earth. You could look at distances from one place to another and that proves it's curved. I don't know, dude. I think what it is there's people that are trolling. Like, I believe there's people that are actually trolling and they know that it's not flat. They know that it's spherical, and they're trolling and they're feeding garbage misinformation to gullible people. I think that's what it is. And I don't mean to sound disrespectful to anyone here who's a flat earther. I'm sorry. But that's what I think. It's people that are genuinely trolling, like feeding misinformation, and then other people that are like gullible are eating it up. That's what I think it is. Move to Madagascar, only place safe from nuclear fallout. Bro, how? Go up really high and you can see curvature. Eli, what you got to do, bro? Get like 2 or 3 stacks of dirt and just build to block height. Build to height limit, block limit. What do you call it? Height limit? Block limit? Just make a dirt tower straight up into the sky. But anyways, guys, what is this read-on hint? Can someone explain to me? What is this read-on hint of Jesus on the cross? The Gorisei want us to believe the world is round. El Mepo. El Mepo. What's good, brothership? How you doing, brothership? El Mepo with the 2. Thank you. The Gorsey want us to believe the world is round. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. The Gorsey, Gorsey, oy vey Gorsey. They want us to think that the earth is round, but it's actually flat. Listen, bro, I think that's one of the only few things that's actually true. Everything else is garbage or lying. Let me be biased for a second. They're always lying, okay? The Middle East, Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. They didn't actually have that. It was America's greatest ally that did. What else is a lie? JFK, he was backstabbed because he was looking into the Dimona nuclear reactor in Israel. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Ben Gurion, he didn't like that. He said, no, 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 JFK. Oy vey. You can't know about this, JFK. Then they turned around. They're like, oy vey, we gotta steal the nuclear weapons. Steal the nuclear weapons from the Goyim. And then they stole the nuclear weapons. The Apollo affair. Go look it up. Apollo affair 1965. They stole the nuclear weapons. This man JFK was about to register Israel under FARA, right? He tried to register them as a foreign agent. Bro, they pulled out that Modern Warfare 2 intervention. Pow! They took him out. Look at this man JFK. What a bad boy. I feel like if I lived on top of Mount Everest, I'd be able to survive longer than others during the end of the world. But in the end, we are all effed. We are, bro. We're done. We're done. Dude, if there's nuclear fallout, we're done. The whole skies, the entire like atmosphere of Earth, it's gonna be polluted, dude. It's gonna be raining brimstone. It's gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's gonna be done. I don't. If there's nuclear fallout, bro, I know who's gonna be the cause of it, bro. Come on, chat. Like, can we just be honest for a second? If there's a World War III, can we all agree that Israel's involved? Like, let's just be honest for a second. If there is a World War III, I will bet any amount of money that Israel's involved. Let's call a spade, okay? It's probably gonna be Israel, Russia, America. I'm convinced that the 5 elders, the 5 geriatrics, and the 5 Gorisei are just the 5. I mean, hey, the signs are there, bro. We see the stars, God's chosen people, genocide on a land, and then claiming the land as the Holy Land. I mean, come on, you've seen the arguments, bro. If you go to New Zealand, you will survive World War III. Why? Why would I survive? If there's a World War III and they start dropping nukes everywhere. By the way, you know Israel, they have, I forgot what it's called. Someone go Google this right now. Israel has this this thing, I forgot what it's called, but they're saying like if you attack us, we're gonna drop all of our nukes on you and we're just gonna basically blow each other up. I forgot what it's called. It's like some kind of like law, some kind of like agreement. If you attack us, we're gonna drop all of our nukes on you and eradicate your entire nation. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a holy land to me. People got to call it what it is. All Jews aren't bad, but the most influential are. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, right? That's pretty much what it is. And like you'll see the hypocrisy because, okay, I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you the perfect example, right? Let me give you an example. I was on, I was like scrolling, watching YouTube shorts last night, and I saw this clip. There's this Christian. He was talking about Jesus at a Palestine rally, right? They were doing a rally for Palestine, like free Palestine. There was a guy, I think he was gay. He was wearing like the scarf or whatever. He was wearing waving the Palestinian flag, and he turns to the YouTuber, like of the YouTube short, and he turns to the YouTuber and he's like, "I don't care about Jesus. Get that out of here. I can't stand you. You white people, all you want to do is kill." And he was screaming. That's what he said. You white people, all you want to do is kill. You guys have been killers since forever. And like, I'm watching this and I was like, wait, but the Palestinian genocide isn't being done by white people though. It's not even the white people. So like, you'll constantly see white people absorbing and taking the blame for stuff that they aren't doing. I'll give you another example. Black slavery in America. 1% of white people had slaves. But 78% of Jews had slaves. All of the ships for slaves were brought on Jewish ships. It's 1:30 in mind night. I have to get some sleep. Thank you for great stream. Hey, Vizwa, have a nice night, bro. Take care, bro. I love you greatly. We'll be back with the long summary. I don't know if the long summary is going to drop tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, because last week, didn't the long summary drop late? He's making the people that care about Palestine look bad. Exactly, bro. Exactly. He's making them look bad. Like, like, first of all, if you're Christian and you're, if you're in the scripture, if you're in the word, you should not be pro-Israel. And the funny thing is, they'll tell you, no, they're pro-Israel because of the Bible. No, wait, no, you're not. Because if you actually read the Bible, you would see, I made a video about this yesterday. I'm not going to play the video on stream right now, chat. But here, if you guys want to see why you, Jesus Christ, like, as a Christian, you shouldn't be pro-Israel, watch this video to the end. And if you disagree, explain to me why you disagree. That video right there. I put it in the stream chat for you guys. What was I talking about? Anyways, he's making the Palestinians, not the Palestinians per se, but he's making the, I don't know what to call it, the Palestinian revolutionaries. He's making them look bad, and I want Palestine to be free. I think it's disgusting and it's sad that America is just basically like the henchmen. Americans, the politicians, AIPAC, they're basically the dogs and the henchmen to Israel. It's just, it's terrible. And Trump isn't going to make it any better. You remember how Trump told Netanyahu to finish the problem? I wonder what that could mean. I wonder what it means when Trump wears a kippah and goes to an October 7th memorial and reads and does a Jewish prayer. What does that mean? What does it mean when Donald Trump was raised and trained by Eitan Yardeni in Jewish Kabbalah? What does that mean? What does it mean when Trump says that if he's not president, Israel will cease to exist? What does that mean? What does it mean when he says that he's going to invoke the death penalty against anti-Semitism? What does that mean? Let's pray cooler heads prevail? What do you mean cooler heads? What does that mean? Have you heard South Korea now has trouble too? A new conflict about to emerge? Nah, what's happening in South Korea, bro? Bro, South Korea was like the calm one. South Korea has always been the good one. We've always known like North Korea to be insane, right? It was always North Korea that's just like psycho. Completely insane with what Kim Jong-un is doing. What's happening in South Korea, bro? South Korea declared martial law this morning? No way, dude. Are you serious? Because I woke up and immediately went live. Wait, no. South Korean parliament rejects president's martial law declaration. Dude, what is going on? Oh no. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol declared an emergency martial law. Dude, what is going on over there? It lasted 2 hours? But why? What is going on over there, bro? Oh no. Explaining his decision to declare martial law, Yoon accused the opposition-dominated parliament of paralyzing judicial affairs and the administration via 22 proposed cases of impeachment issued since the body convened in June. Chad, I have no clue what's going on in South Korea, so I can't speak on it. But, oh no. Hopefully things get better, because I don't really know what's going on over there. They stopped it. It means whoever is the voice of reason in these countries' government administration. I think long summary came out on time. Feels like the Ross came out late. No, Jordan. I'm pretty sure the long summary, I was waiting like last week. I was waiting the whole day for the long summary. It never dropped, and then it dropped the day after. Looks like an internal conflict. Man, I hope they're good, bro. Hope these guys are good, man. Putin says no to Trump. He tried to do what Trump wanted. Are you talking about the president of South Korea? Yoon on his, I do not know how to pronounce that. McCarthyism? What is that? McCarthyism. But took it to the extreme. I don't know what McCarthyism is. No clue what that means. All right, guys. I think this is when I think this is what we're gonna call it. I think this is what we're gonna call it, chat. It's been a great stream. It's been a great time, guys. Love you guys tremendously, guys. El Mappa with the 2 anti-Semitic stream on break week. Hey, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. We'll name them. We'll name them. What we'll do? We'll have a religion stream, and then we'll bring that in. Is that what we should do? Is that what we should do, chat? You guys have a few days to decide. We're gonna stream on the long summary, then we're gonna stream on the chapter reaction. So you guys have a few days to decide if you guys want a religion stream on break week. That stream's probably gonna get us nuked. That, bro, we're gonna, even if we had a religion stream, you know, naming the Jews, we would still have to be careful, you know. We could do the stream on Twitter. If we did the stream on Twitter and Rumble, then we could literally say whatever. We could talk to the extreme. But YouTube, I don't know, man. YouTube is, they don't like it. Anyways, chat, I hope everyone here has a nice morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. I love you guys greatly. You guys are amazing. It was a fun stream. We'll be back with the long summary, okay? We'll be back with the long summary, and I see your messages. You guys are saying to do it on another channel. The thing is if I do it on my other channel, the Eddie Mancada channel, I wonder if certain things I say in that stream will get the channel spanked, you know? I don't want that channel spanked. So, collab with Hassan? Oh, no, dude, that would be bad. That man, isn't he, like, super left? I don't like that guy. He's not based. But anyways, chat, have a nice morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. We'll be back with the long summary. Make sure before you guys leave, drop a like on the stream. Drop a like on the stream so we can grow the community and grow the stream. Subscribe if you're new, and if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the long summary stream of the spoilers and the chapter reaction. Have a nice morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Love you guys. Stay strong, find Christ, be courageous. Dominate the enemy. Dominate evil and say